There it is. All good. Getting it set up. What's going on here? Why isn't this working? That's really annoying. There we go. Oh, that's right. I had to do that. Okay. Oh, hey, welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you all. Just a moment. Just, last setup. Good to see you. Great to see you over there on YouTube. Thanks for sharing the live, Trish. Good to see you. Who else is here? Anybody else? A few people went through, I think. Yeah. Let's see. We've got we are streaming on Twitch, TikTok. So Kibisi, you just woke up. You're freezing under a blanket. Well, that's because you live in Finland or for far away or something. Oh, you see me on the Discord deconstruction Discord. Figured it was time to check me out. Thank you for coming by. Hopefully tonight I do better. Been wondering if I should even talk about last time. It was not great. I feel embarrassed about it. Kind of crashed out hard. I didn't like slur or anything. I don't feel like I, did an atrocity or something, but I I was not my best. I don't know. Just something was off with me that day and I got really, really wound up. So I've been thinking a lot about that. I want to go forward. -20 outside. Dang. -20 Celsius. And like what I want to do and how I want to compose myself. Hey Joe, good to see you. And yeah, just gonna try harder to be patient and to listen and to drop the arrogance. Like that's I think what's don't dwell on mistakes, just learn to move forward. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I've been thinking about what I can learn from this, and I think I learned a lot. And I feel good because I kind of bounced back from it a lot quicker than I have in the past for something like this. So welcome to my show. This is the Sarah Shark. From now on, this will be the format. It's going to change a little bit in the background and stuff. I'm going to make this into kind of like a talk show. So there's going to be a monologue at the beginning, and then probably some like news stuff, and then I'll do some kind of like have the guests on, and they'll talk about their crazy ideas, and then hey 3 Pips, great to see you, and then yeah, and then I guess that'll be the end, and I'll do like a closing thing. I guess I'm not sure. There's a musical act. I'm not sure. But I realize that that's the direction I want to go in. So look forward to that. I think that's what I'm going to work on after this. A TikTok pro Christian debater that is the moniker Shark. I do know of that person, but they're not named Sarah Shark. So that's this is the Shark Show with Sarah Shark. Their show, my show. You know. Negative 20 degrees. It's going to be opposite here. 36 degrees, 44 in Sydney. By pro-Christian debater, what does that mean? Like they do it as their job? Or that they make money from it? Like, is that how you become professional at it? Are they accredited in some way in debating? Curious about that part. Because I know of someone named Shark that goes around here, but I think he might also be like some sort of a pro gambler. Like that's his actual pro thing. Is that like a card shark? Blahai trumps all other sharks. I hopefully said that correctly. Took me years to even remember that it's pronounced differently than how I want to say it. Well, I'm here ready to talk to anybody, Christians that want to talk about getting real. Tonight's theme is getting real. Let's talk about what it means to be real, and you know why is God real? Maybe days. Are you over 18? And are you what religion are you?
I am Christian and I am 19.
Cool. What do you want to talk about?
In the prom, it says Christians, it's time to get real. What do you mean by that?
I think that. Sorry, I just blocked this account. I think that Christianity is not aligned with reality. Like the spiritual aspects of it don't have any actual impact, except for that they make people do things in reality that do impact other people that don't believe in it, right? So they have like a knock on effect. And so I think it's better if we all just lived in the same reality and drop all the spiritual stuff that doesn't seem to have to be real at all. Like that part doesn't seem to be needed.
Yeah, but the thing about Christianity, we are in the world but not of it. So, it's, what does it? We do not. We are in the world, meaning we're in this planet.
Mhm.
Do not do the things of it. So we must be separated, so different. Yeah.
So all the Christians live in their own like nation. They're in their own space, is what you're telling me. They don't impact other people in
Um,
society.
all Christian.
I'm
Some
sorry.
of them are fake. Some of fake. Some of them are real. So it's
Okay,
just
but like
discernment.
so like the people that seem to not that do live in the world do impact reality. They impact the world. Christians, they're doing it wrong because they shouldn't be impacting my reality. They should be not of the world, right? They should just be,
Mm.
or they should be not of the world. That's it, right?
Yeah, should not be of the world. We are in the world, meaning we are in this planet together, right?
Barely holding on. Um,
Yeah.
do
And
you like? Have you ever voted? Do you? You're pretty young, so maybe not. Do you intend to vote?
I have,
You have voted, so you
yes,
are of the world. You are doing the things of the world.
indeed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you should stop being a
But
Christian. You should
the
stop. So
thing
do you see the
is,
problem? Like, if you're going to continue to vote and impact the world, you should stop being a Christian because it's impacting
the
the world.
the thing is that the talking about the in the world, but not of it, meaning that the sin that the world is doing, we should not like become that actually. But what's it called? Electing not a sin. I
Okay,
don't
so
think so.
so the
It's a sin.
response you gave me like is like kind of like non sequitur. Like it doesn't have anything to do with how you impact the world. My point is that you should
It's
leave
more of
behind the
a
things that don't make
meaningful thing.
sense. You should leave behind this nonsense about sin and stuff because it's not real, right? But voting is real,
Oh,
and it's fine. But leave behind the
yeah,
stuff that
voting is
impacts.
real.
Leave behind the things that impact the way that you vote. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But Yeah, but before I was a Christian, I was in the so not of it anymore.
Care about what happens. Oh, Succubus, you're right. I posted it and it didn't work or something. Hold on. I get you. I get you. Oh, I had to refresh it. It was gone. Yeah. So you're saying you don't care anymore because you're not of the world.
Oh, yes, I
Uh,
don't care about the things of the world anymore. So
right. So like
I
how you
chose
impact
to be a
society, how
Christian.
the things you don't care how it impacts society any longer because you're a Christian.
That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that I can go and help people, give food and do all the things, but the sin part, no.
That's fine. Why don't you just drop Christianity? Then you don't have to worry about the sin
Mm-hmm.
part. You can keep doing the other stuff. Tell me why not. Like you're not explaining anything about why you continue to be a Christian.
Mm-hmm. I continue to be a sensitive religion, which I chose to be in. I chose to be in it because um to follow Jesus Christ, which he hasn't haven't sinned. So I wanna be like Jesus Christ and continue the purification journey.
Okay. What would you
Yeah,
say? What would you say is your biggest sin that you like
my
struggle with? That
biggest
you
sin,
struggle with the most? Yeah.
mm, uh, lying. Yeah.
Lying. Oh,
Yes.
is it like a habitual thing or like a conscious thing? Like how does that happen? I don't think that I lie a
It's an
lot.
habitual thing. Indeed,
Okay.
this is, yeah. In
Interesting.
the 10th commandment, you should not lie.
Yeah, I think it says don't bear false witness, which I think you could
Y-
technically think. I think it's like about not bearing false witness against your neighbor. Like, don't lie about people. Do you lie about people?
Yeah.
Why do you do
Mm-hmm.
that? Why do
No,
you do
I
that?
do not. I do not.
Okay, what do you lie about?
Like small things. Like if I do something and then lie.
Okay, but why do you lie about what you did? I don't understand.
Um, well, it's indeed a bad thing, but I want to get rid of it.
Okay. Do you think there's ever
Mm-hmm.
an appropriate time to tell a lie?
And no, no.
No. So
You
like,
should always tell the truth.
well, what if telling the truth would harm somebody like physically them in harm's way? You're hiding somebody from some authority that's trying to hurt them. You know you don't want them to be
Mm-hmm.
hurt. Is there ever a scenario
Mm-hmm.
like that where you would say, "I think I should lie to keep them from being hurt"?
If I, well, it's a like a hard scenario for that. That's when I have to think deeply.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you been drinking tonight or anything?
No,
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you seem a little bit like I wasn't sure. Maybe it's a language barrier or something actually, but um
it's my voice. Sorry.
okay, you're fine. You're fine. Um
Okay.
I just want to make sure that I'm not misreading or something. So, right, it is a difficult thing that you got to think deeply about, but y- it to me it seems like it's easy, right? Like I just look at every situation individually and I say most of the time I tell the truth
Mm-hmm.
because telling the truth has good outcomes most of the time. But if I know that telling
Yeah.
the truth will have a bad outcome, I don't tell the truth. Like it's just, the easy decision. In that situation, obviously it would not be like it would still be like intense. Like I guarantee I
Mm-hmm.
bet you I'd still be like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can pull it off. But I wouldn't be wondering
Yeah,
whether or not
that's when it's hard
but I
to
wouldn't be wondering whether
decide.
or not I'd be dishonoring God by lying, right? I wouldn't be wondering whether or not I'm doing the right thing That's where I think it's like a
Mm-hmm.
problem. Is that you may be wondering, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you may have been wondering, like, is it right to do it, to lie at this time? What happens if I do and it's wrong? Can I get forgiveness? That sort of thing. I don't have to worry about any of that nonsense because it's not real. That doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the outcome. In this situation, something
Okay.
like that, what matters is the outcome and how it impacts people.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think like what's happening. It sounds like this religion might be causing you to beat yourself up over small. It sounds like small lies. You're not telling me like you're not like, oh, I'm like or I'm like I'm sending like statements under false names to like the governor or something. It's not something crazy. It's like it sounds like it's something you got to work on, sure, but like why do you need Christianity to work on that?
um uh, la, well ish well maybe it shows how Jesus Christ lived a perfect life
Mhm.
without sin. So I want to follow that instead of sinning and lying.
Okay.
But yeah,
If I were to show
yeah, that's
you that Jesus lied, what would you think of that?
if Jesus Christ lied,
Yeah.
I mean, can you he lied?
Well, I think that it seems really clear. I'll find the verse really quick. But
Okay.
let's see. What is it? Let me think of the exact words so I can think of the exact verse. Because he says a few different verses in each of the gospels where he says something similar, or two gospels he says something similar. Um, you will not pass away, will not taste death. Matthew 16:28. Here we go. So, um, I think this is like really hard to get around. Like it's one of the things that makes it so that I am not sure, even if I believed some aspects of this, it seems like Jesus is
Mm-hmm.
literally saying, truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. So this seems to be him
Mm-hmm.
referring to coming back to his second coming, and he's saying it'll happen before
Yeah.
the people he's with before they all die. And as far as I know, they're all dead. And it's been 2,000 years. So I don't know why anyone's waiting for him anymore.
Um. Well, that's if you read it on a context,
Mhm.
then you understand what he's saying.
Can you explain the context that makes a lie?
Okay. Um. Well, if you read 27, for the Son to come in his Father's glory
Uh huh.
with his angels,
Okay.
and then he
Has that
will
happened?
reward each person. It will happen. The Bible is a whole. It's a prophecy. So
Has it happened before they
even the
tasted death?
Euphrates River
Right.
is
But
there's a Bible
the problem
verse.
here is that it says
Uh,
that there are some standing here who will not taste death.
yeah.
Who is he talking about and what does this mean?
Well, the people that are haven't died yet.
Who is he talking to when he says there are some standing here?
Um. Let me see. Jesus predict. Oh. Jesus predict his death. Well, talking about like all the people, probably
When he says there are some standing here, he's talking
believers.
about all the people.
Yes.
Who is you? Truly I tell you. Who is he talking to when he says truly I tell you?
He can be speaking to a crowd,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
yeah, if I
So
say
he's saying he's talking to a crowd that's with him, right?
yeah,
And he's saying that there are some people standing with him who will not taste death.
mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
So there will not be. So if death comes, but it will not take them actually.
So you believe some people from 2,000 years ago are just still alive?
No, there are dead. Yes.
Yeah, so who there did not taste death before Jesus came back?
Um, who? There's a. Was it Abraham?
It's like he seems to be
There's a
talking about, he seems to be
king
saying that
that
he's going to
have
come with
not
his
died.
angels in the
Is it
glory of
like
his Father and
Jose or
repay everyone for
someone?
what they've done. And he hasn't done that. And then he says, truly I tell you, sounds like he really means it, not metaphorically, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. And I just don't know why anyone is waiting for Jesus anymore.
I mean, because we don't know when he's gonna come, but
Oh,
he's
he told you.
going to
He told you.
come.
He told you before these
Huh?
people taste death. He said he would come before they taste death, and they tasted death, which means he's not coming. It means he lied. This is a lie.
That's not a lie.
Show me how it's not a lie. Can you explain it?
There's some standing here who will not taste death. Well, in this passage, it's also talking about Jesus predicting his death. So, uh,
I'm sorry.
mm,
This passage is specifically about him returning before people
yeah,
die, and that didn't happen.
yes, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you follow a lying prophet. He's dead. They're all dead. Not coming back.
To come back, but we don't know when.
Why do you believe that?
It
When he
says
said
that
otherwise, right here. You're saying something against what Jesus said.
no. Well, it says let me find that verse where it says no one.
Hey, Bagel, when he resurrected, did he come with his angels in the glory of his Father and repay everyone for what they had done? Chattering in the
Sorry.
comments. I'm sorry, I gotta stop doing that. I was yelling at the comments.
Oh,
People are trying to give you help from the comments, and they're all wrong too. It's crazy that anyone believes this because it's just so clearly false. Like, if instead of presupposing that the things that people told you, like you're just presupposing this is true because someone said it's true. If you read the words on the page, you just go, "Oh, this isn't true. Obviously, this is not true." So I
well,
don't.
the Bible is not some kind of book you should read. It's
The Bible is the only way that you're going to be able to tell me how to get to this God. I'm not going to believe on the word of people. That's insane. The Bible is the only thing you're
uh
going to be able to use, and it's fucking wrong.
in Mark 13:32 it says, but about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven nor the Son,
Mhm.
the but only the Father. So
Yeah.
we
So
don't
he's
know when Jesus Christ is gonna
no,
come.
that's not what he's
Maybe
saying. He's saying you don't know the day or the hour, but it'll be before you taste death. Because he says this here. So even if you want to incorporate that other scripture into this, you can just say you don't know
mhm.
when it's going to happen, but it's before you die. So, get ready within your lifetime. That's what he's saying.
Therefore are some standing here who will not taste death. That's gonna be before.
Before what?
So let's say we're in 2026 and instead of the death coming to get us, but it will not fulfill its mission. So we will still be alive till 2020 something more. That's what it means. That verse.
What? I'm sorry. Can you
Yeah,
what
I
do you
will
mean? I'm
repeat
not
that.
sure if I understand.
So so today is 20, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And that verse it says there are some standing here who will not taste death, meaning even when death will come to get us, but it will actually not fulfill its mission, which killing everyone. of us,
So there are some
so
people
we
from
can
Jesus' time that are still alive, is what you're telling me.
not just, well, there are some that have died. There's a, oh, find a
The
verse
only way
where,
for this to make is that if some people are still alive from that time, because he said there are some standing here who will not taste death.
uh-huh,
Tasting death means
yeah,
dying. Standing here means
yes,
right there at that time. And we are now
yeah.
here. So they would have to still be alive. So that's the only way you can believe this is true. It doesn't make any sense.
Let me find something real quick. What is the
While guest does their homework, everyone go ahead. Thank you. Tap the screen, share the live. Thank you for joining, and thank you for the heart me's. Tris, Joe, Girls Gone Godless. I appreciate it. Tris for the rose as well. Checking in on YouTube.
that's
Lockpicking Turtle, it's great to see you. Let's see. Yeah, it's mostly lockpicking. Daniel and Succubussy, great to see y'all. And Resistance. Resistance. That's what it is. We certainly have a
um
shark show tonight. Sorry, go on.
yes. I think, well, I found that like Apostle John, son of Zebedee, Zebedee, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, in John 21:22, it says, if I will that he, John, remain till I come, what is that to thee? So, yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't even know what you said, and I don't know what it has to do with. I can just find the verse. What was it, John?
John, John 21:22, first.
First John or just John? Jesus said to
John,
him, "If it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you? Follow me." I don't understand
yeah.
how this solves the issue.
It's a, yeah, it's when, that other verse, well, that you have said.
Peter turned and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following them. He was the one who had reclined next to Jesus at the supper and had said, "Lord, who is it that you're going to betray you?" And Peter saw him. He said to Jesus, "Lord, what about him?" Jesus said to him, "If it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you? Follow me." Okay, so I don't understand. What does this have to do with him? How they have all died and he hasn't come back? Jesus did not say to him that he would not die, but I will that he remain until I come. What is that to you? What is the point that you're trying to make with this?
Is even John, son of, I think, is still alive. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Uh,
insane. That's like an insane take. So you think, like it's crazy because we have such little historical evidence of any of this shit. If John were still alive, he could solve this. We'd all believe. Where is he?
why are you asking me? I don't know. Maybe he's somewhere in the world. I don't know where he's at.
You should leave this. You have like
But
conspiracy brain. Your brain's rotten. You'll believe anything.
how?
You just told me that
Proof.
someone from 2,000 years ago is still alive, not even just Jesus spiritually, but another person on earth. You will believe anything. Like you're really gullible. You're gonna end up like probably. How many how many
I have a
how many
question.
pyramid schemes have you been in so far? You think?
What?
What's your question?
I have a question. What do you believe in, or yeah, what do you believe in?
I believe in a thing called love. Yeah,
What is love?
baby, don't hurt me.
What?
Just all the anyway.
Okay.
Um, so I thought you were going. I thought
Dude,
you were
you're
going
so
along. I
funny.
thought you were going along with it. Okay, so What do I believe in? Let's see. I think most broadly, I want everyone to be free. And my definition of freedom
Mm,
is autonomy and purpose
yeah. Mm-hmm.
without coercion. I would like to have that
You,
amount. I would like that to be as much as we can, without inflicting on anyone else's ability to have autonomy and purpose without
mhm.
coercion.
Um, do you think we're free or not?
I don't currently think that we are free now, but I think you're
Damn.
I think you're less free than I am, if that makes sense, because you're in this cult.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
Oh yeah, Mezzo,
Oh,
are you in the? Yeah, Mezzo, come on up. Mezzo has something he'd like to say. My friend Mezzo, Joel's best friend, or Mezzo's
Hey,
friend, Joel's best friend, Mezzo. I think
God.
that's how he likes to be
it is
introduced.
Mezzo. That's my name is Mezzo, and it's always been Mezzo. And hey, 40 Day, can I ask you a favor? Can you start telling people alive?
Well,
Can you please stop telling people I'm alive? Dylan,
who is you?
like I said, my name is Mezzo.
Mezzo,
It's
hi.
always been Mezzo, wink.
Indeed. Hi.
Stop telling people John's alive. I don't want them to know about me.
About you?
It's me, dude. It's me. I'm John.
I mean, your name
Tell
is
people
Mezzo, brother.
I'm
Your
using
name
a
is
fake
Mezzo.
name so they don't find out who I am. They're gonna come kill me if they do that. You got to stop telling people I'm still alive. You sound crazy, and they're gonna find me. So don't tell people about that anymore.
You're acting right now. I know you're not
Hey,
John, the
very
son of
good,
Zebedee.
very
Zebedee.
good. That's exactly right.
Wait,
That
are you?
that son of
Why do you?
Zebedee
Why
passed
do you
away a long
think?
time
Why
ago,
do you think
right?
he's not
40
Hey,
John?
day.
you're son of Zebedee,
I'm
bro.
convinced, though. I'm convinced that you're John. I don't know why this guy's not convinced you're John, son of
Oh, this
Zebedee.
is terrible. See, 40 day now, the word's getting out. I was never here.
What happened? I don't know
John
what
just stopped
happened.
by, right?
Who- Wait, Mezzo? His name is Mezzo.
I mean,
I don't
he
know
seemed to
about
be
you.
implying that he's John, son of Zebedee. You caught that too, right?
Uh, I saw his name on the things like 40 days old. I saw Mezzo, not John. So
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
he's
know why.
hiding, like you said. For some reason, he can't let anyone know. I shouldn't have said. He left because I said something.
Oh, but well, his name was Mezzo. Like everybody is saying here, Mezzo is Mezzo. Yeah. So
It's unclear to me if you're like not even following or if you're just like
I am following.
trying to ignore what's happening or something. Like I don't know what's going on with you. We are at the near the 30-minute mark, so we're just going to do the quick poll. The quick poll is when we get
Okay.
to decide whether or not we go to the next guest by the audience's reaction. So go
I
ahead, put
have
a
a question.
smiley face. Hit the smiley face if you'd like to keep talking to the guest, or a sad face if you'd like to go to the next guest. What's your question?
The pink. What color is that on your profile?
The colors, pink and blue.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
What about it?
What does that represent? Like
The
mean?
trans flag. Pink, white, and blue are the
Is it
trans flag
like the
colors.
Lilith thing?
No, it's like the colors for the trans flag: pink, white, and blue. Do you see my little shark icon? It has like a flag behind it. That's the trans flag.
No, your actual profile. It has like a violet color.
Oh yeah, it has like it was like an online promotional thing to raise awareness. I think about abuse of women in like Africa. I think. What about it?
Oh.
Anti-femicide. Thank you. It's been a while since it came up, and
Okay.
now I haven't thought about it enough. My bad. But what's up?
I was just asking that.
Okay. Well, the results are in, and it's an overwhelming goodbye. So we're going to talk to the next guest. Thank you for coming by.
Bye.
Raid from Stotsky. Hey, thank you on Twitch. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you. I don't do a whole lot on the Twitch, but I'll try to I've got your chat up here so I can see y'all. That's fun that Sochi rated me over there. Just shouted you out, Lilith. True. Okay. Let's go to the very next guest. On the Shark Show with Sarah Shark. It's a real shark show. Are you over 18 and what's your religion?
Yeah, I am over 18. Thank God I'm Christian.
Oh, okay. Why are you still Christian?
Because I believe in God.
Okay, why do you believe in God?
Because I believe that God is logically true.
Oh, okay. The Christian God is logically true?
Yes.
Can you show me how?
Yeah, because God must exist in order for logic, the real logic, to exist.
Why do you say that?
Well, do you believe in the laws of logic?
Yeah. The law of identity, law of non-contradiction, and the law of excluded middle, right? Are the three main laws of modal logic or something like that?
Sure, sure. Okay. So are they concepts in our minds or no?
They are concepts that align with reality, but yeah,
They're concepts in our minds, right?
I would say so. They're not physical objects.
Did they exist before our minds existed?
The concepts did not.
Oh, so the law of non-contradiction did not exist before our minds existed?
Not as a concept. It existed as like a brute fact, but it didn't exist as like a concept. Concepts are things that we think
The
of,
law
they
of
conceptualize.
non-contradiction did exist.
It existed as a fact of reality.
But you just said they're concepts in our minds. How did it exist if there's no mind to exist?
So I believe that an apple is always an apple, regardless if you call it an apple, right? That's the law of identity.
Okay.
So regardless of whether someone is there to identify the apple or to see the apple or to think of the apple or to say it's called the law of identity, it's still an apple and it still applies. It just doesn't matter what you think about it.
Yeah, but you just said they're concepts in our minds.
I don't care what I just said. Did you hear what I just said? Or are you like
Yeah, I
stuck on
heard what you
something?
just said, but it
What
still
is the
doesn't...
problem that you misunderstand about what I'm saying?
I didn't misunderstand what you said. You just don't know what I'm saying.
I apparently don't. So go ahead and please explain to me what the problem is.
If you said that the laws of logic are concepts in our minds, yet they existed before our minds existed, and whose mind did they exist before our minds existed?
Interestingly, I didn't say that. Do you remember when I said that the concepts
No
didn't
said
exist?
that's what you said.
I didn't say
Nobody said.
that. I didn't say
Nobody
that.
said that's what you
You
said.
just said that's what I said.
What?
You waited all this time to do
That's
this?
not what
You waited all this
I
time to
never
do
said
this.
that you said that.
You're not ready to get real, are you? This is your game? You're not ready to get real?
What?
Do you know what the theme of the show is? The theme of the
What's
show
the
is
theme
not
of
act
your
like an
show?
idiot and get me confused about simple words. The theme of the show is get real.
You're the biggest idiot. You're a dude trying to act like you're a female.
That's a wonderful
Even though you're not.
retort. Do you want to have an actual conversation with me or do you just want to do this
So why are you trying to
nonsense?
act like when you're a male, bro?
Why are you upset about it?
I was just wondering why you're trying to act like you're something that you're not.
Oh, you've determined this? You're the authority on who I am?
Well, you are a male, are you not?
I am male. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Okay, so you're a male, so why are you trying to...
Why are you a bigot?
Why you saying that your name is Sarah?
How about you answer, why are you a bigot? Go and unmute and tell me why you're a bigot.
Yeah, the reason I'm a bigot is because I don't take it seriously, so therefore whatever you say.
Okay. I was curious if he'd actually give a reason why he's a bigot. But no, he's not actually thought about this. He doesn't know why he does the things he does. And it's very clear, right, that he doesn't actually have any self-control. He wasn't ready to get real. It's true. No Christian really is. He did admit that he was a bigot. He did admit it full chest because he isn't really thinking about what he's saying. He just wants to hurt me because I pointed out how his philosophy is nonsense. It doesn't get him to God. He told me he had some way to prove to me that the Christian God is real. And his whole argument is, you didn't say the words that I like. And he won't talk about it. He won't try to come to an understanding of what we're trying to say. I don't believe that the concept of laws of logic existed before people or minds existed. Yeah, I don't believe that. I think that they were true, but I don't believe that the concepts existed because I think concepts exist within a mind. It doesn't mean they weren't true. The concept of a tree exists in the mind. It doesn't mean the tree disappears when you disappear. It's fucking stupid that. It's like, what, object permanence? Christians don't have object permanence now? These are the high-level arguments that Christians bring, though. They did almost get me. I almost lost my composure because it was just... The bigotry is so fucking wild. Like, I have a really hard time understanding doing that, where you're like, I'm here representing my God. I'm on my best behavior. I'm going to prove to the world that God is real through my actions and my words. And instead, it's, when you catch me in my fucking lies, I'm just going to be hateful towards you and everyone else here. I don't know. Well, that put me in a bit of a sour mood, but we don't have any other guests, so that's good. They won't get... we just got one. And moving on to the next guest on the Sarah Shark show, the Shark Show with Sarah Shark. Hey Jay, how you doing? Are you over 18 and are you a Christian?
Yeah, I am over 18 and I am a Christian. Can you hear me? People saying that my mic was muffled.
It is pretty muffly, actually. I was gonna tell you it was pretty muffled. Is there anything you do about that?
Yeah, give me a second. Let me just... Hold on, one moment.
She sells seashells by the seashore. Now put some sharks in there. Shark shells by the shark shore. Sorry, go again?
Is this better?
I think it's a little better. We'll give it a shot. What do you want to talk about?
Okay. Well, it's just that earlier, just now, you said, we want to, show God through our works. And it's that's not really true. The Bible says that we show God through our faith. And through our faith, it will gives us the strength to do certain works inside of his names. So it's the respect and the fact that we have the courage to come up and tell people no shows that God is real. And on top of that, the fact that a lot of things come from Christianity.
So you think the bigotry was warranted? You're saying the bigotry is a Christian faith thing?
No, I think the world gives Christian bigotry, and then they blame Christians because...
No, you're talking about the last cast, right? Were you here for the last cast? Or are you just talking to what I was saying?
No. I was just talking to what you were saying. I didn't hear what he said. And
so here's the problem, right?
Yeah,
so you're wrong, though. You're wrong. So here's the problem, right? You're supposed to have the fruits of the Spirit. So it's not just that you're supposed to come up here and tell me what's what. It's supposed to be that you're supposed to be loving, respectful, kind, patient, all this shit. And most Christians are not. You are, so far, pretty great. But the last guest, he came up with nothing. Hot air. And when I called him on his BS and told him, I want to talk, have a real conversation, I want to really talk with you, he just started calling me slurs. Just started saying that I was not who I am. And so, you know, I just was like, that's not, my understanding is that's not how you show the love of Christ. And that's how the Christians often show the love of Christ, is through bigotry. When they get cornered, they get scared and upset, and so they just lash out.
No, I don't think that that's how they normally do that. I think that I think those are spiritually immature Christians still need to walk within the faith of God because people aren't perfect. There's times where, like, you know, like I don't know your relationship with your parents, but I'm just guessing. Your mom probably said something to you that made you feel upset. That doesn't mean that you'd never think that she wouldn't love you again. It's just her lowest moment at that moment. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta forget that
If
felt.
my
But
mom
you,
told me, if my mom had told me that that I'm not who I say I am, and then told me that I should change who I am, I would be pretty upset. I would not just continue to
yeah,
have a relationship with that person. I cut people like that out of my life.
okay. But if you was to see her getting attacked on the streets, you just get attacked, you would at least fend the person off and then probably tell her off about herself. But you wouldn't just let your mom get attacked if you saw
Okay,
her
but that
because she
wasn't my
said something
mom.
like that
The
to you.
person on the panel was my
No,
mom.
but
I
I'm
don't
just
understand
saying
what you're
that
trying to say. What's your point?
humans. I'm saying that Christian or not, humans are human first and foremost.
Except your religion is supposed to make you better.
Better in what sense? Like better
Better
than
than the
other
world.
humans? No, it
Better
does
than the
not.
better than
No,
other people that are not Christians.
it
Is it
never
not?
says that.
It's
It
not
never
supposed to
says
do.
that. No,
Oh,
it does not tell you that.
my mistake. So why do so many Christians tell me
It's
that
okay.
that's one of the reasons that I should be a Christian, is that it makes you a better person?
Christianity makes you a better person, as in it makes you see things from a wider scope of lens so that you can realize, hey, the reason why that person can call me slurs isn't
No,
because
no fucking.
they
Don't try to
are
tell me that I don't
are
understand the system that's
are
happening
are a
here.
bad person.
No. Please stop.
No,
Please stop.
I'm
You
just
need to
trying
tell
to
me
give you
why
an
I should
honest
be a
answer
Christian.
and you're cutting me off.
Yeah, because I don't care about
Why do
this.
I
You
have to
keep
tell you
pivoting
why?
back. You keep pivoting back to meta. Please tell me why should I be a Christian? Why should I do that? I think it's time to get real. I think you should get out
Yeah,
of
but why are you
the
yelling
faith
at
that
me?
encourages bigotry. Get out of it.
Oh, so well, bigotry will kind of be like what you're doing, coming at Christianity but not giving it a fair chance from a Christian's perspective, and just telling me get real. And it's like, okay, but I'm trying to tell you about the faith, but you're telling me no. Meanwhile, I'm giving you answers about something that I studied.
You know
So
what? You're
that's kind
right.
of
You
not
know what?
fair.
Let's reset. My apologies. Please give me all of the meta about what I'm doing wrong, and then we can get to why you're still a Christian.
Well, I think kind of like what you said earlier is the perfect example on the point that you're trying to make. I think you hit it on the. A lot of Christians come in here sometimes trying to tell people that being Christian will make you a better person, but being Christian will make you more plausible to the eyes of God, and thus through that change of faith, that change of faith, that change of soul would then change your mindset, and then that would then change your actions and your character. So you would just do better stuff. Like instead of going to McDonald's, you'll come home and eat a cooked meal. That don't make you better than the person who ate McDonald's. That just means that you have a less likelihood of getting a heart attack because you're picking
So
better
being a
health
Christian
choices, which
makes
the
you a better
Bible tells you
person.
about.
So being a Christian makes you a better person.
But it doesn't make you better than any
But it
human
makes you a
being. We're
better
all equal
person.
as human beings
I never said
inside
that it
of
makes
your
you better
own
than other
life.
people. I never said that. You're saying that. I
Okay.
said, does it make
No,
you a
no,
better
no.
person?
Yes, it makes you a better person in your own
Right.
life,
So
not to control
why
people.
don't I see better Christians?
Well, that's probably your perspective. I can say that I see Christians that are amazing.
Mhm.
So it's about perspective. So what we're talking about right now is very opinionated and it's not factual. It's just okay. Well, here are your thoughts. Here
Well,
are
do you
my
want to
thoughts.
talk facts
One thing
then?
that I could.
Do you know the crime stats? How many atheists are in prison versus Christians?
Well, Christianity is the biggest faith on this planet,
Even
so it's kind of.
accounting for that, it's like 0.2% of atheists are in are like in jail or something. It's really small.
Yeah, but a lot of atheists go to jail and then convert over to Christianity, so that's not fair.
Okay.
and that's factual.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's taking that into account. So I guess I don't want to look it up. So why do you? What is the point of being a Christian if it's unclear whether or not it actually makes you a better person? What other
Well, it's not
reasons?
that it's well, it's not that it's actually very clear, and the main reason of it is that being a Christian just allows you to, well, under the religious paradigm, is to be under the will of God, and the will of God is to just create a world where everybody is appreciated for their own purpose and their own living, their own being, meaning that somebody
Why
may
do you believe
be
that? Why do you
spent.
believe the will of God is that everyone be appreciated for their own purpose, their own will, and their own being? Why do you believe that?
Um, because it has been shown, slavery with Africans were abolished by Christian men who were protested. Abraham Lincoln was a Christian.
Mm. So they did that because of the Bible, right? Did they abolish it because of the Bible?
Yes, they actually
Show me,
wrote many
show, show
letters
me,
on
show
that.
me, show me the verses they used. Let's do
The
it.
verses.
Yeah, if they abolished slavery using the Bible, show me the
Oh,
verses they
okay,
used.
sure.
Yeah, where can I
Is
go?
this John? Hold on, give me a second. Let me just grab my Bible.
Yeah, I can. By the way, I'll show you the verses after you do this. I'll show you the verses they used to start enslaving people. We'll do that after you show me when they used to dismantle it.
Okay.
I wonder if my verses will have stronger evidence that it should be done than your verses will have that it should be dismantled. I'm curious about this topic that has come up over and over and over and over that I guarantee you talked about multiple times, but you don't fucking care because you're brain rotted. Please, show me the verses that abolish slavery. It's so crazy that they do this. They act like, I've never even heard of slavery.
Well, no, the Bible talks about slavery all the time.
Not
As a
just
matter of
talks
fact, the
about, not
story
just
with
talks about.
Moses is slavery.
Your God installed it as a law.
Excuse me?
Your God condones it as a
Yeah.
law. So beating your
You
chest about
condone the
abolishing
law.
slavery, beating your chest about abolishing slavery seems really strange because your God says, here's how you can do slavery.
Oh no, I don't think he says that. I think you're trying to twist his words into evilness because you're probably angry because you don't like it.
So when I show you that I'm not doing that he doesn't exist because this doesn't make any sense, but when I show you the word literally that you can own people for life, what will you say?
I would say that God said that if
You're
you were to
I haven't even shown it.
in
Wait,
war,
I haven't even shown it. You're not even going to say it's not there. You're just giving up on that already. You already believe that your God said this. You just told me that you don't think it's there. You think I'm twisting it, and now you're already ready to believe that it's there.
I know the reference verse that you're going to twist. I already know the verse that you're
So
going
you
to
do know
bring
the verse.
up.
What do you think the verse says then? Before I twist it, why don't you tell me the truth?
Well, the truth is that servitude, right, is different from slavery. Like servitude is like, hey, like you were a prisoner that ran away. So because you're a prisoner that ran away, instead of bringing you back to prison, serve out your sentence working on my farm, which the talks about. Hey, listen, you are a prisoner from war, where I could and where you're trying to like me, I spare your life and I make your family
So
live
you
in
don't
my
know the
house
verse I'm going
for
to talk
free.
about, I guess. Like you're talking about a different verse. I don't know what you're talking about. We're talking about slavery.
Yeah.
Right. You said you knew the verse I was talking about. You're talking about servants. I'm talking about slavery, owning people as property.
Yes.
For life.
Yes.
For life.
People
for
like
life.
to take.
Do you understand the words you said have nothing to do with the words that I said?
People like
or they
to
have very
take
little
that
to do.
verse
They have a little to
and
do, but
take it out.
they're not fucking, that's not the same thing. You're already whitewashing it, already apologizing for this bullshit.
Whitewashing.
Yeah.
Whitewashing.
Yeah. You're already
What you
making
mean, like,
excuses.
whitewashing?
You're gonna get hung up on this. You're gonna get hung up on this because you're a chicken shit coward Christian.
Okay. Oh wow, there goes a slur, and you were just talking about us. So it seems like you're the one who's doing bigotry.
What's the slur?
You just insulted me.
What's the slur? Do you know what slurs are? Yeah, I insulted you. You're chicken shit coward Christian.
A slur is an insult. It doesn't have to just do with my race or my creed, bro.
fucking
So
stupid.
here you trying to condemn me on something you did.
Slur. To speak words or speech indistinctly. Oh, that's to slur. An insinuation or allegation about someone that is likely to insult them or damage their reputation. An act of speaking
Thank you. Boom,
indistinctly.
boom. Hey, there you go. Jesus wins again. Jesus wins again. Jesus wins again. Amen. Right. There we go. Good job. You
So
see, I
calling
told you
you.
Christians would make you a better person. I told
Yeah,
you
you're
that.
right. You're right. I learned something new. Are you ready to learn more about your God?
Sure. Do you want me to bring that verse you was asking for, or do you want
I've
to
got
read
it
yours
right here.
first?
I've got it right here. You don't have to do a thing. I've got
All
it
right.
right here. As for the
All right.
male
So
and
then I'll
female
let you go
slaves,
first.
you can save your victory dance for after you explain to me why owning people as property is good. You're a piece
How
of
you know I
shit.
was dancing?
That's a slur. As for the male and female slaves, who you may have, it is from
Okay,
the nations
damn.
around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them
Jesus
from
loves
among
you.
the aliens residing. Nobody can hear you. I'm talking. So you can just
Oh, I
stop
said Jesus
talking.
loves you.
I'm sorry,
Oh, I'm
what?
just saying Jesus loves you.
It's not necessary.
Uh, okay. All right, go
Why
on.
are you
I'll just say
stay muted? Men are so fucking annoying. As for the male and female slaves, whom you may have, is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you, and from their families who have been with you, who have been born in your land. They may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness. Please, I've invited you to unmute. Respond. Explain to me why God's law about having slaves is good.
okay. So, once again, right? That word slave that was used, right,
Why is it good
refers
to own
more
people
to
as
a
property for
servant.
life? Why is it good to own people as property for life? That's what we're
Are
talking
we
about. We're
having
not
a
talking about the
logic? Are we
definition of
having a
words.
logical? Oh, so we're not having a logical historical conversation. We're just like talking off of feelings.
We're talking about
Is that what we're doing?
slavery. I understand that you're not able
Yeah.
to understand this very well because you're fucking
Huh?
stupid. Slur it again.
No, I think you're stupid.
I
You
know
don't
you do.
know
I know you
Hebrew.
do. Because the love of Christ lives within you, and that's why you give as bad
You
as you
don't know
get.
Hebrew, and you're just getting angry because you're hurt, and somebody hurt you in the past, and it's okay.
People like
But
you
Jesus
hurt
loves
me
you.
because you apologize for slavery. I'm mad because you do this. Because you don't
No, you're
face
just upset
reality.
because you don't know how to cope with your feelings. You're angry. I literally never.
Do not tell me how I fucking feel. You pivoted away from the fucking topic, you piece of shit. I'm so tired of this nonsense. Why do I have to show you fucking respect? Why? You're a piece of shit. You're like one of the biggest pieces of shit in the world. You think people should be enslaved. Yeah, eat shit. I don't care about your Jesus' love. Eat shit.
Inviting me back up.
I did. Tell me again. Why should
After
you own
cursing
people's
me out.
property? All you're going to do is tell me why you should own people's property.
That's
That's all you've
mad
got to do.
bipolar, bro.
That's all you got to do.
After you curse me out, can you at least apologize first?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Jesus loves you, bro. Thank you.
I
I
don't care.
appreciate that. I love you
Why
too.
should I own people as property?
Okay. Those people weren't just property through being vicious. It was through war. So like I
And
explained to you
buying.
earlier, and
And
in
buying.
the buying was no, it wasn't through buying.
Yeah, you may acquire them from among the aliens residing with you and from the families who have been born in your land and of your
From
property.
the
You may keep them in possession. You could buy them, acquire them. What is the
no,
acquire?
no. It said, okay, once again, but it doesn't say buying. Acquiring is to get, not to buy.
So
and
when
the
you
aliens
so
from the aliens around you.
uh-huh.
Just be honest, bro. Like I'm not you, bro. Like it's right there. Read it. I have no hatred towards you. I haven't cursed you out once, bro. Like I'm just here to talk, and you just cursing me out and stuff. Like, and it's right in front of you, bro. I've been the kindest person from the beginning, and you just been going crazy, bro.
You're right. No, you're right. You know what? I should be bigger about this.
I could drop if you want me to,
because you think
and
it's
come back
good to
later.
own people as property, I should probably chill. So here's the thing, right? I need you to explain these words that say you can own people as property. I need to know why you think that's okay. That's all you got to do.
Okay. And property, they don't mean property as in like they're a shoe. They mean property as in like, yo, like you are a part of my family. You work for me as a butler.
Why would you
Like I
think
was
that?
telling you, if
Why
you
do you think that?
because okay, because historically through the Jewish faith and the people around the time of the Middle East, and if you look up this scripture in Hebrew,
Hmm.
that's what it's going to say. It is servitude. It's not,
No.
but it
No, 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 no,
translates
no.
into
I'm sorry. I'm
slavery
sorry. I'm
through
sorry. I'm sorry.
English.
Stop. Stop.
Uh,
Oh, they may
I
be
mean, I
your
could drop
property
it. You
is
could make
really
someone
fucking
else
clear,
come up
dude.
if you
It's
don't.
not servitude. Shut the fuck up.
Bro, you could just drop me and bring someone else.
Do you serve this war god? Dipshit, do you serve this war
What was
god?
that?
Do you serve this war god? Yahweh? Why the
Follow of
fuck do you
Jesus
serve this
Christ
war god? Why?
because I just choose to.
Okay. Are you really that brain dead?
Yeah, but
You've never thought about it? You don't know
maybe.
why?
No, I'm thinking about it. That's why I'm on this live right now. If we could just like talk, right, and think through it together.
So your God said that you
My
could own
question,
people as property. So why do you think that's fine?
right? Okay, I got you. So before I answer that question, I have to fully understand you, right? I only have just one question so I can fully understand where you're coming from, right? My question is, right? It's clear that you think this is wrong, the act of slavery, right? Now, what makes you think it's wrong, right? Is this like your opinion? Is
It
this
is
on
my
a
opinion.
societal level?
It's on the societal level as well,
Okay,
but
so,
it's not quite there because we still have the 13th Amendment. But it is my opinion. Do you not have this opinion? You
oh,
don't
okay.
share this opinion? That slavery is wrong? That
No,
owning
I
people
mean,
is wrong?
I'm not saying that. I share the opinion. I just wanted
Why
to
do you
know if
care?
it's
Why do
just
you
an
care?
opinion.
Why do you care?
If it's an opinion,
Why do you care? What is it? How does it impact what you think?
I mean, my opinions don't really impact anybody because they're just my opinions.
Do you think that is true?
That's that's the point.
You don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that your
yeah. Facts
opinions,
and
wait,
opinions are different.
what causes you to take actions?
Yeah, my belief systems to some sort. But not only that, the restraints that society has causes me not to take certain actions, even if I would want to take those actions. So
Right.
it's not just my beliefs.
But like your beliefs inform your actions. We agree with this.
Not all the time. Not all the time. I agree in some sense, but not all the time.
So when do your beliefs not inform your actions? I don't understand.
Okay, for example, right? Somebody, right, who is in the United States that may have another religion or may be from a different part of the world, right, may think it's okay to hit a woman, for example, right? Even though they believe they could do that, they're not going to do that in America because they're going to end up in jail.
Oh no, that just means that they have a different belief that informs that action. They have an
What
overriding
belief?
belief. The belief that they don't want to go to
What's that
jail.
belief?
The belief that they don't want to go to jail. It overrides the belief that they should hit a woman.
So if they know that that's the law, that if they hit a woman, they're going to go to jail, how is that a belief and not just a fact?
They don't want to go to jail. That's the belief. The belief is that I don't think I'd like to go to jail. It'd be a bad time for me. So I try to restrain myself from doing the things that might send me to jail. It's really very simple. Your beliefs inform your actions. You don't want to go to jail. You believe it would be bad, and so that informs your actions. You follow the law when you.
I got you. Okay, I see.
Right?
I'm following. I'm following. The only other reason why I want to clarify if it's your opinion or not, right? Because right throughout society, right, humans' opinions have evolved, right? At some point at a society level in America, they saw it fine to own slaves, and then that evolved, right? And
Yeah,
and
they
who
based it off
knows
of the
what
Bible. They
might
based it off the
what
Christian
what
Bible. They started with the Christian Bible and they evolved
yeah,
past it.
so you can argue it both ways. You could say that they started slavery and perpetuated it because of the Christian Bible, and then some of the people that were very strong against, if you've read any of the history books,
Yeah,
a lot of the folks from the North and a lot of the Christians
yeah.
were against slavery.
Let me ask
Yeah,
you
sides could have used it.
Let me ask you
This is
this though.
why
Let me
like
ask you
all
this
of this
though, right? If you're
opinion
all good
stuff
God had,
is
if
like
you're
very
God, if you're all
fluid.
good God, I'm just gonna cut you off because I don't fucking care. If you're all good God had said no slavery, do you think they would have had that moral quandary?
Wait, say that again.
If your all good God had said a law that said no slavery, do not own people as property under any condition, do you think they would have had that moral quandary where the Christians fought the Christians over
I
what
think
they should
nothing.
do?
Yeah, I think that God said very boldly, very clearly, do not unalive, do not commit adultery, do not worship any other gods, do not a lot of stuff, right? And they went against all of that. So just because God says it doesn't mean humans won't
Oh,
do it.
so your argument is when they used the Bible to enforce slavery, they would have done that anyway, even if the Bible said don't do it. They would have said, well, I don't care. I'll do exactly the same thing with verses that don't exist.
No, I'm saying that God, before the verse that you just brought up,
Yeah.
made it very clearly to love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Right.
To not steal, all of those things. Those are very
Yeah, you
clear
couldn't steal.
things.
You couldn't
right?
steal
And they
people.
still
You
went
couldn't
ahead and
steal.
did it.
You couldn't steal them,
So
but they were not your neighbors. They
because
were
God,
property.
you're saying that
They were
you're
not
saying
neighbors.
that because
If you understood the history, like
okay.
if you understood the history and the culture, then you'd understand that they weren't your neighbors. They were your property. You don't think of a slave as being a person.
Yeah, that's the wrong way of thinking. In reality, they are though.
Well, I agree. Your
Yeah,
God
but in reality,
disagrees.
they
Your
are.
God
So
treats
the
them
people
differently than
that's
people.
so
Your God treats them as property. They're always talked of as property. Women as well.
okay.
Women
So
are treated as
regard. Okay.
property
So
as
okay.
well. But
So
we can talk about that
okay, I
next.
got you. So, okay, fine. You're saying that God, even God treats them as property, right? So, if we're talking about the biblical God, which you're addressing right now, right? The claim is that that God is the creator of everything. So, that God would be the creator of the slaves as well, as equally as he is the creator of the people enslaving.
Mm-hmm.
He made all of them.
So it's just okay because he made them?
No, I'm saying that
We can own each other because God made us? I don't understand your point.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, that's not what I'm saying.
So
I'm
be more
saying that
clear.
God said, you're saying that if God said it boldly, right? Saying, do not enslave one another. That means all Christians, anybody that claims they're a believer, would not do it. It's thousands of priests, pastors, people that claim they're Christians that commit adultery every day, that commit murder, and all of those things are said like straightforward.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about saying if there's nothing that God could have said that's going to stop humans from doing that.
So what's the point of the law?
It's to show us what's wrong in us. It doesn't mean that it's going to stop us. We still have agency.
What's the point of the law?
It's to guide us. And to
and
show
what,
us
and what
how
do you
broken
do?
humanity is.
And so what do you think the
how
guide's
things
telling us
should
about
be.
slavery? What do you think the guide's telling us about slavery?
If you take the Bible incomplete, right, and you don't just take bits and pieces of it because it's a complete story from
Because that's
Genesis to
inconvenient for you?
Revelations.
Because it's inconvenient for you?
No,
that
it's
your
not.
God gave
No,
this law?
it's inconvenient for you to take the whole story. It's very convenient for you to take part of the story.
I mean, I forgot when Jesus came back and said no more slavery.
No, Jesus Christ, they asked him to clarify which of the laws are the greatest, to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, right? If
No, that's
any
not what he
one
said.
human being, there's no one human
Not what he
being
said.
that's gonna tell you that they
You're
love
fucking lying
God,
on the
right?
Lord.
Who is
You're
the
lying.
creator of
You're just lying about
everything,
what God said.
and then they choose to enslave another person. They don't love God with all their heart and all their soul because they would understand that that human is equally God's creature and they would love God's creatures. They don't love God though.
So when God gave the
If
law,
they love their neighbors as they love themselves,
right,
they're
I want
not
to
going
respond
to
to
do
this.
that. But
I want to
even
respond.
that is so clear, they still don't do it.
Sure. So when God gave the law to love your neighbor as yourself, and then later in the same book gave the law to own people's property, how do you reconcile this?
That is not a law. Was that a law?
Which is not.
What's the law to own people's property? When was that law given?
That you can own people's property?
Yeah, when was that law given? Is it part of the 10 Commandments or what?
No, it's part of the law. It's part of the Mosaic law, Leviticus 25:44. The thing we're talking about this entire time, do you not know what we're talking about?
Right. Okay, so are you talking about Judaism or are you talking about Christianity?
I'm talking about Christianity. The God you worship gave
Okay,
these
so let me
laws.
just see that you understand Christianity, right? What's the difference between Christianity and Judaism? What's the difference?
You believe that Jesus Christ died for your sins and rose again, and Jewish people don't. They don't believe he's the Messiah.
Okay, Jewish person, what do they need to do, quote unquote, to be saved?
They weren't saved. There was no saving for Jewish people. You all went to Sheol.
So you didn't need to keep the law. You didn't need to make
There's no
sacrifices for your
salvation.
sins.
What you
You
said just
didn't
doesn't. What
need
you
to.
said just doesn't make sense. They were supposed to keep
Okay.
the law, but it's not for salvation. You're just too much of a Christian. You don't know enough about Judaism.
Okay, fine. Okay, so they're not supposed to keep the law. There's no salvation. They're not supposed to do anything. Just because they're born a Jew,
So
that
do you worship
means
the
they're
God of the
gonna
Old
go.
Testament? Do you worship the God of the Old Testament, or is he different now?
No, it's the same God.
Same God.
But with
So
a
this
different.
God that gave these laws
have
is
two
your
different
same God. It doesn't
covenants.
matter what the Jewish people do with these laws. You're worshiping the same God. Is that right?
Yeah, with two different covenants. How a Jew became a Jew, like in the Old Testament,
Say,
versus
how about a Jewish
Christian
person? How about you say
becomes a
like how a
child of
person
God is
becomes
very different.
Jewish, like or joins the Jewish
Yeah,
religion instead of saying like a weird
because
word?
for a Christian, right? Number one, there's salvation. What you do to be a Christian is
Okay.
not you're born a Christian, right? You need to believe that you're a sinner and that Jesus Christ died for your sins,
Okay.
right? And to live and aspire to be like Jesus Christ, which is what? To love God with all your heart and then to love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? And then how we're linked back to God is not through circumcision, but through circumcision of the heart. So it's completely spiritual.
That's wonderful. So when God said to love your neighbor as yourself, and then later said to own that you can own people's property, how do you reconcile that?
Yeah, so you just explained it, right? That was part of the Mosaic law
I didn't
at that
say anything
time,
like that. I didn't
guiding
say
how
it.
they should live in that society.
Hey,
Yeah,
can you
so
please answer
was
me
that a
directly? Can you
description
at
to the
least
whole
answer me
world?
directly? Please answer me directly. Your
Uh,
God said to love your neighbor
what's
as
your
yourself. My question, you seem to not get it. I'll try to be clear. God said
Go
love your
ahead.
neighbor as yourself. Is owning someone loving? Is owning a
No, it
person
is
as
not.
property a loving thing? Okay. So when God
No,
said
it's
that
not.
and then later said you can own people as property, what do you think he meant? Why did he do this if he didn't mean what he said? Which one of them is lying?
I don't think any one of them is lying. I think that there's a difference in words there. Because you're saying it's a command, right?
No,
A
I'm not.
command would be you
You
shall,
misunderstood.
you may.
You misunderstood.
Okay, is there a
I
difference
did say
between
you
shall
may.
and
I
may?
did very clearly say that you may own people's property, and I don't fucking care about this nuance. Your God said that you can. I think it's wrong.
You may.
Why is it?
You may,
Why
right?
is it? If you may, then it means it must be loving, right?
No, it's not. It's
Why?
not. In fact,
Why?
even
Why?
war is not loving because that was the way of things at that time.
Does it say
That's
you may go?
how,
Does it
not
say?
just
Does it
the
say you may
Jews,
go to war, or does
not
it say
just.
you may own people's property? Can you please stick with the fucking topic? Why is it
Yeah, we're
okay to
sticking
own
with the
people's
topic,
property?
and I'm
Why is
telling
it
you that
okay to
that
own
was the
people's
way of
property?
life of the people at that time.
Okay, so God could
And
not
just like
change.
anything,
God could not give them a
it
law.
had to be regulated.
Right.
Yes,
I
like anything, it
understand.
had to be regulated.
Right.
Just like
God's not
slavery, when it was
powerful
going
enough.
on, had to be regulated.
God's not powerful enough to set
No,
down the
God is
regulations that
not.
he wants.
Yeah, he did. He did clearly, and we didn't follow them. He did it. He said, "Love your God. Thou shalt not murder." He did it. You're confusing that. If he sets the law, it doesn't mean our agency is blocked off, and now we're perfect human beings because God gave us the law.
What's wrong with you? I didn't say anything about
What's
that.
wrong with you?
I didn't say anything about that, though.
Yeah, you're saying
You're
you're
not
trying to
tracking the
insinuate that
conversation.
God must not be as powerful if he you that it's a very clear command that hasn't been followed, right?
Do you know what my argument is?
Yeah, you're trying to insinuate that
No, not
God
insinuating. I
in
said it very
one
clearly.
breath
Please
says
stop
that
saying
love your
shit and tell
neighbor.
me what I said. I didn't insinuate. I said it very clearly. What
said that if God gives the command to love your neighbor as you love yourself, is owning slaves loving? And I told you clearly no. I answered your question.
Okay, so then why does he give
And
the
I told you
permission to own
join the
slaves?
war
Why
is
does he
not
give permission to
loving
own
either.
slaves? Why does he give permission
It's
to own slaves?
regulation. Regulation. It's regulating it because humans are imperfect people.
Is it more or less loving to own somebody?
I just told you that humans are not loving by nature. They're not.
I understand. Did your God give us love by nature?
I'm sorry, you cut out. Did God give us what? Breathe.
I don't know that I can do this anymore. You seem like you're stuck. You don't really. You're kind of like
I think you're stuck.
no, like you're just stupid or something. How
You
can I get
stupid? Are
through to
you
you? How can I
stupid
get
too?
through to you? How can I get through to
Are you
you?
stupid?
What is it? What
How
is the
can I get
disconnect?
through? What is the disconnect? Like at the end of the day, all of this is your opinion, dude. Like, why should we even listen to you? Like, it's just your opinion. Like, who the fuck are you? It's
I
just
live in
what you
reality. I live in
think.
reality where people like you
And
influence things.
it's your opinion
Right?
still.
So when you have
Everybody that has an opinion, people have had opinions, and they live.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I understand. Opinions scare you. Look, here's the problem, right? I live in reality and you don't. So when your God says it's okay to own people's property, if this comes up in reality, you have a hard time knowing what to do. You don't know what is right, right? You have a hard time with like doing the right thing. You struggle with it. That's the problem. Y'all don't get it. You live in a fantasy land.
The reason we struggle with it and we struggle with morality is because people like you think it's just an opinion. And that's why it changes and changes. And at some point, like slavery was right in America because they used their opinion. In their opinion, it was the right. They're
But
no different from you, dude.
God's opinion is always the
They're
right
not
thing to
different.
do, right?
God's opinion is to love your neighbor as you love
God's
yourself.
opinion is you can
shall
own
do
people
this.
as property.
That's the command. He didn't say you may love your neighbor. He didn't say you may. He said you shall.
He did not think of slaves as neighbors. Like
He
you just
said
got to
you
accept
shall,
this.
dude, and
You've
then he
got to
said
accept
you
this.
may.
Yeah, he said you shall love
You
your
got
neighbor,
to
and then he
accept
said it
it.
should be the other Israelites. Do you know that?
He didn't say that. He didn't say that. For God so loved the world that the world, bro. He didn't say Israelites. For God so loved that he gave his only begotten son. Yeah, and that's why the Israelites don't believe in his begotten son. Because they think it's just about them and not the world. Because they think God just created them and we're all just NPCs. No, God created every single person. And the person that chooses to do good and to love him and to admit that they're a sinner is the person that gets salvation. Same thing in society. The criminal that acknowledges that they're wrong and they don't plead innocent and take it to trial, they might get leniency. They might get off because, yeah, they show that they're taking accountability for their wrongs. And
So
it's
here-
not their opinion.
So when God talks about loving the neighbor, right, he's talking about the Israelites. You shall not hate in your heart any one of your kin. You shall reprove your neighbor, or you will incur guilt yourself. You shall not take vengeance or bear of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. He's talking about the Israelites. Right? He says kin. He says that's the context.
Right. Is this the 10 Commandments?
This is in Leviticus. Let me see.
It's not the 10 Commandments. Just read
Why
the
does
10
that matter?
Commandments.
Why does that matter?
Yeah, because yes, because when he's given
this
the
is
10
what Jesus
Commandments,
is,
he's
this is
being
what Jesus
specific.
is quoting. The love your neighbor isn't in the 10 Commandments, is it?
It is.
Tris, is it in the 10 Commandments?
That is
Yes, it is.
10 Commandments.
Sorry, Tris?
No.
He was talking.
Loving your God.
Yeah, love your Lord your God is the first commandment. But the love your neighbor thing, Jesus took from here. This is what he's quoting.
Okay, so then
he didn't make
how
it
do
up.
you reconcile that with John 3:16, the most common verse in the Bible, where God gave loved the world that he gave the world, not the Israelites, his begotten son.
The New Testament.
They just made it up. Yeah, that part they made. Right. That's why I told you, inconvenient for you to take the whole story, not me.
No, you're
If
misunderstanding.
we take the whole story,
hey, shut
it
the
makes
fuck
sense.
up, dude.
You're
It's not about.
dude.
No, it is not about taking the whole story.
It is about that.
You need
because
when
you're
you ask
trying
me
to,
a question, you need to let me respond.
Right, and then when I respond and I give you another verse, you say, "No, that part's bullshit.
Stop.
I want this part."
No,
like
stop.
what?
You're not. You said, how do you reconcile that it says this in the Old Testament and then it says this in the New Testament? I don't. I'm not a Christian.
Right. And that's why I'm telling
It's
you, do you know the
nonsense.
difference between Judaism and the New Testament? We take both. They take just the Old Testament.
You don't
If
take
you read
any
that
of the Old
and
Testament.
then you read the New
you
Testament,
don't take the Old
it still
Testament
makes
at
sense.
fucking all.
Yes, we do, dude.
Why do you think Jesus
I
is
just
the Messiah?
reconciled
Why
that
do you
with
think
the New
Jesus is the
Testament.
Messiah? Why do you think Jesus is the Messiah?
Yeah, because I just reconciled that.
I think Jesus is the Messiah.
Because it reconciled.
Matali.
Yeah, the same reasons that the Pharisees thought. They thought that he was going to be God, so they unalived him. So I think just like the Pharisees, the people that studied more than you, they thought he was claiming to be God. And they so I believe them and I believe him.
Any sense?
You're not all right.
There are
That's
current
crazy.
Jews because
I'm
Jesus
repeating
did
that
not-
the Pharisees, right? The Jewish scholars, right? They surrounded the guy, okay? Asked him, hey, are you claiming to be God? And he said, I and the Father are one. They asked him a clarifying question. He repeated that and they decided to stone him and he had to escape. And they took him to the Romans and said that he was blaspheming.
Can I ask
Okay,
you?
God. And
Can I ask you a
that's why
question
he
about-
was unalive.
Can I ask you
So
a question
I
about
believe the
Jesus?
Pharisees and I believe Jesus and his followers.
that there's really no reason to to believe the entire New Testament.
There
No,
is.
written in
Do you
those
believe?
modern
Do
times.
you believe?
There is.
Hold on. I can
34
stop. I can
years
stop this right now.
after death.
I can stop this right now. Do you believe that that Jesus fulfilled all the messianic prophecies?
Yes.
Okay, so this here in Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah 33 says, "For thus says the Lord, David shall never lack a man to sit on the throne of the house of Israel, and the Levitical priest shall never lack a man in my presence to offer burnt offerings, to make grain offerings, and to make sacrifices for all time." Now, when Jesus died, was he the final sacrifice?
Yes.
Why does it say that there will always be Levitical priests that will make sacrifices for all time in this prophecy about the Messiah?
Yeah, if you read in Revelations, right, it talks about the priests that constantly intercede.
Why should I care about the no? Stop. Right?
Yeah, because that's then don't just say, hey, I don't take the Bible. Say
No,
that.
I don't
so
take
that I
any
know
parts
that.
of the Bible. I want to know how you reconcile. No, you're not
Well, that's
listening to
crazy.
me. You're not listening to me.
I'm
You're
listening
not
to
getting
you,
it.
dude.
You're not
I'm
getting it.
following
It's
you
so
very,
sad.
very close. You're running away, and it's so sad. And you're taking pieces of the Bible, and then you run away when we bring another
prophets-
verse.
were the
You asked about the
prophecies in the
priests,
Old
and I
Testament-
told you it says that.
Does
right?
does the book of Revelation change the Old Testament prophecies? How is that possible? Can you explain that?
It doesn't change them. It confirms it.
No.
That's what I'm telling you, that it confirms it. John confirms that in Revelation.
Will there ever be
When he
sacrifices?
talks about the high priest, have you read the verse?
Will there ever be another sacrifice?
That I'm talking about.
Will there ever be another sacrifice?
No. Jesus Christ is the eternal sacrifice.
Okay,
God himself.
So when God said in this messianic
right, we don't
prophecy,
need no chickens or no goats. If
when God said in this messianic prophecy, when your God in this messianic prophecy, the Levitical priest shall never lack a man in my presence to offer burnt offerings, to make grain offerings, and to make sacrifices for all time. Who's making sacrifice for all time if there will no longer be sacrifices?
Yeah, because God has made the eternal sacrifice. Eternal sacrifice.
Matali, why would it say never in his
for all
God-breathed
time?
word?
It says make sacrifices for all time.
So
For
never
all time. It didn't say forever.
So it's like for one
Continuously.
time.
For
It's
all
like for one
time
time.
means for eternity.
So all time means like
That's
one more
the
time.
eternal sacrifice. Yeah, for all time means for eternity.
Has there been a man sitting on the throne of the house of Israel since? Did Jesus do this? Did he sit on the throne of the house of Israel? Will there be Levitical priests? I think that's been abolished, right? The priesthood's been abolished in the New Testament, something like that?
No, I think you're misquoting it. So are you
What am I
debunking
misquoting?
Judaism right now? Is that what you're doing?
Can you
Does your
track?
New Testament not hinge
No,
on
I'm
the
tracking.
Old
I'm trying to see
Testament?
if you're trying to debunk Judaism.
How would this debunk Judaism?
Yeah, because they're the Jews, right? They still uphold to that. So that
Well,
is,
this
if you're
this
denying
is
Jesus
talking
Christ as
about
the eternal sacrifice, then now you're confronting
this is
not the
about the
Christians.
future. They can still hold to this.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah, the future.
You can't. You can't hold to this. They can hold to this. You believe them.
They hold to that.
They don't believe the Messiah has come.
Right. So you said that you asked when it came to Jesus, right? You said, is there somebody sitting on the throne of David right now? Isn't that what you asked?
I did ask that.
Right.
Because
So is there somebody sitting on the throne of David right now?
the days are surely coming. Means when it says this.
Right, dude. Okay, right.
No,
Now you switch it up. That's what I'm
mean
telling
right.
you. You're not
It doesn't mean
debunking
right.
Christianity. You're debunking
doesn't mean
Judaism.
right. What do you think it means? It doesn't mean right. The days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I will fulfill the promise I made to the house of Israel and the house of Judah. This is a prophecy for the future. It's never going to happen.
Right.
I believe that this is all bunk, but it doesn't mean that they can't believe that it will happen. But you cannot believe it will happen.
Right.
You believe
Same,
it's been,
same thing as
stop
Christians.
talking. You believe
with
it has
Jesus
been
Christ's
fulfilled.
return.
That's not true. You believe this has
With
been
Jesus
fulfilled.
Christ's return, we can also believe that it will happen in the future.
These
There you
things
go.
cannot happen. These things say never and always. These are things that cannot happen if Jesus is the Messiah. It doesn't matter if he
How?
comes back. There will be no Levitical priest, and there will not be making sacrifices. It just destroys it.
It doesn't if you read Revelation, which
Right.
you need to do.
Right. So
Because that's all that happens in Revelations is Jesus Christ throne, and there's priests that are constantly making sacrifices on behalf of the saints.
have you read the
It
shark
says
gospel?
that in Revelations.
There's the gospel of the shark, and it actually says that wasn't true. It does a counter spell, and it says that's not true.
It says what wasn't
and
true?
what it said in Jeremiah is actually true. Whatever you said, Revelation is false, and
In
Jeremiah is
Revelations,
true.
right? That's why I'm telling you that, like, dude, we can't have this debate because you're picking and choosing. Like we could just end it at that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm
You're-
a Christian. If I give you my scripture, you're just saying, no, I don't believe that. Let me give you a Judaic scripture.
You're still not understanding
what?
the argument is the problem.
I'm
You're
still
not. I can try to
understanding.
tell
Your
it to you again.
Bible.
Okay. But Tahir did not like that. Finger slipped. Yeah, you're just not understanding my argument. Do you have scripture that debunks this? My argument is nothing will. I'll bring you back up. I'm sorry about that.
Everybody,
one of my mods did it.
welcome to.
I just gave you a scripture that
Hey,
talks about it in the
Mutality,
future.
Mutality.
You just
Hey, real
conceded
quick,
that this is a
yes.
future event,
Yes.
and I gave you a
Yes.
scripture by John in Revelation
Can you
that's
hear
talking
me?
about a future
I can hear
event
you.
where Jesus Christ is sitting over the throne, and there's priests
He
that
might have
is
like a
making
hearing thing where he can't
sacrifices
hear.
to
He
God
can't hear women. I don't
on
know.
behalf of the saints.
Maybe like a
Can you
dog
hear
whistle thing.
me on the panel, guest?
Yes, I can hear everybody.
Awesome. Can you just hold on just a second?
Sure.
Sure, just a quick break. I want to welcome everybody to the Sarah Shark Show, or the Shark Show with Sarah Shark. We have 14 people in here. Make sure you have grabbed your heart me's, you've shared, you've posted, and please do tap that like button. And Mutali, thank you for coming back. I'd like to remind you that Sarah is the host of the show. Hear her talking, please hurry up and be quiet so that she can finish her sentence, and make sure that that's finished before you talk again. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. It's been a good conversation. Let's keep it respectable.
Cool. Okay, so we were talking about this, and you said Revelation debunks this, but I don't understand why I should care about Revelation, because as far as I know, Jesus is said to be the final sacrifice, and there will not be any more sacrifices. And I can look this up, but I don't think there's supposed to be any more priests either. And so it's weird. Oh, I know what it is, because Jesus isn't a priest. He's not a Levitical priest. So the fact that it says that there should be Levitical priests doing burnt offerings and grain offerings and sacrifices, like, it's just weird because none of this will ever happen. That's why it doesn't work to just say, well, this, because anything can say anything, it will never happen. It's like part of the whole thing with Jesus is that it won't happen.
I got you. See, I follow that, right? So then, do you accept then that it won't happen for the Jews either, or it will happen? Because what I'm hearing is you're saying that for the Christians it won't ever happen. For the Jews, it might happen, right?
Well, the Jews believe the Messiah hasn't come. So, yeah, it might still happen.
Oh, okay. So, okay. So you're saying that the Messiah is who will be making these burnt offerings.
Well, it says that in those days and at that time will cause a righteous branch to spring up for David. And I believe that's supposed to be the Messiah, the righteous branch. He shall execute justice and righteousness in the land. In those days, Judah will be saved and Jerusalem will live in safety. And it is by this name, and it is this name by which it will be called the Lord. And thus says the Lord, David shall never lack a man to sit on the throne of the house of Israel. And I think that's also supposed to be, that man is supposed to be the Messiah. And Levitical priest shall never lack a man in my presence to offer burnt offerings. So I think that that the man in that instance is the Messiah. And I'm trying to remember, it's the Levitical priest aspect of this, and I can't quite recall it. So I'm trying to just figure out if I should drop it. I think I'm going to drop it. So my point is, though, that if Jesus is the final sacrifice, and this verse says that the Messiah is supposed to like sit on the throne of David and always be sacrifices, I just don't know how that will ever happen if that's not what Jesus is supposed to be doing. Like, it just doesn't align with what the scriptures say that he's going to do. That's the problem.
Mutali, if you're talking, we can't hear you when you're off the app.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I got you. Yeah, I'm sorry. My response, right? It's talking about a future event, right, where Jerusalem would be at peace, would have a ruler, and the people would never lack somebody to offer these burnt offerings for them, right? The reason I think that still applies being a Christian, when I read Revelations, right? The return of Jesus, right?
Mhm.
On this earth, right? He will be the ruler of Jerusalem and bring peace to the world, right? So that part still fits. Right? Now, where we can't have somebody to offer burnt offerings, I don't see why that doesn't fit, because in Revelations, it tells us, even after the death of Jesus Christ, right, that there's high priests that's offering that burnt incense on behalf of the saints.
But they won't be making sacrifices for all time.
After the return of he's going to have an eternal reign. So it will have to be for all time. Whatever the arrangement is, when the Messiah is back and running the planet, whatever setup that will be eternal. So it'll be for all time.
And you think Jesus is still returning because, why?
What do you mean why? To rule over the earth.
No, but like, why do you think he's still coming back when he said he would come back before anyone of the people there? And then they obviously
He
died.
said that the kingdom of heaven.
No, he said, some of you will not taste death before I return, before the Son of Man returns in all of his glory. Right? Is it working? Hello?
No. Yeah, I'm trying to think about that. Wait, wasn't there some people during around that time that did and were supposedly taken up or I forgot the word, in the same way that Jesus Christ went to heaven?
I think he shows up on the hill, the Transmogrification. Is that what it's called? And he shows up with
I think so,
like
something like that.
Moses and somebody else, one of the other Ezekiel or something, but like not the people he was talking to. But yeah, when he says, "Truly I tell you, standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom," and I just think that is another indicator that this is not ever going to happen. For the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay everyone for what has been done. So, like, here he's obviously talking about coming
Okay.
back, which has not
Right.
happened.
Okay.
He has not
So
repaid everyone.
I see that part, right? But okay, so that verse, let's go back, right? Because I had to pull up the verse and read it, right?
Mhm.
It says something, phrase it right now because I can't see it because I have to leave the screen. It says something like, surely some of you here will not taste death until you see me return in my glory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say something like that, right? Okay, so the trans, right, when it happened, that was after Jesus had rose from the dead, right? And
Mhm.
it says that he was in his glory when he was in heaven. He had to be.
Oh, but that's
So he had
ascension.
returned
That's
from the
different than
dead
what
and
it's
it was
saying.
glory. Okay, so when he was ascending, he was not in his glory.
That's not my argument. It says that he's going to come with his angels, not ascend. He's going to come with his angels in the glory of his Father. Then he will repay everyone for what has been done. Did he repay everyone? So when I take the full context of the book, I look at the prophecies that aren't fulfilled, I look at the lies that Jesus told, and then I look at the awful commands from this God, and I take the full context of the book and I say, it's time to get real. This is not real.
Um, I I get what you're saying 100%. And I had to read the verse again on the screen a couple times, right? When I read it, right, and I read the whole full scripture, because this is out of the New Testament, right? So when I read the whole New Testament, not just that one verse, right, I still don't see, right, how after, right, and they see him the transfiguration and him ascending, how that wouldn't be him coming into his kingdom
Because it doesn't say that he's going to
or
come
in
into
his
his kingdom.
glory,
It
like
says he's going to come with his angels. Were there angels?
coming in his kingdom.
Were there
Yeah, that was
angels?
prior to that. Yeah, that was prior to that.
What was prior to that?
Okay, so let me give you a real life example, right? So I show you my train of thought with it, right? So conversation with you, right? Tell you about a future event, right? And I'm telling you about two events, right? I can say something like, hey, 2 weeks from now, right? 2 weeks from now, I'm going to meet you in California, right? That sentence ends, right? And then I start another sentence and then say, surely I tell you, right, that in 2 weeks, right, I'm going to get on a bus or on a plane, right? You'd still get what I'm saying, still makes sense to you. You see what I'm saying? Even though I have to get on the plane before I meet you in California.
I don't understand this
So
analogy.
saying is
The
this, right?
problem. The problem is that it says very specific things are going to happen and they have not happened. So if it is
and I'm
true,
telling you that they have happened though.
when did he repay everyone for what has been done?
Yeah, he didn't say, listen, where the problem is with what you're saying, right? Verse 28 doesn't come before 27.
Right.
You're
They're
trying to touch
connected.
28
No,
back to 27.
because
Yeah,
it's the
you're trying
same
to make
thought.
that
It's the
backward
same
connection.
thought.
You're trying to make the backward connection.
No,
Huh?
I'm not. I'm making a forwards connection. For the Son of Man
No,
is to
you're
come
not,
with it.
because the
Stop for
verse
a
comes
second.
after.
I'm in the middle of talking. For the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father. Then he will repay everyone for what has been done. Truly, I tell you, you can tell right here when he says truly, I tell you, he's emphasizing. This is an emphatic statement. It's not about a new
What's
statement.
about to come next? He's trying to
Are you
emphasize not the
following?
previous
No,
sentence, or it
stop,
wouldn't have been a full stop.
stop. Are you following what I'm saying? Emphasizing what he just said.
I'm following it in
Do
your
you
way.
agree?
No.
Why not?
The truly I tell you, the coming sentence, not the previous sentence. That's why there's a full stop. You're trying to say, truly, I tell you, emphasizes what's before the period.
No, you're misunderstanding me.
What? How?
I'm saying that this next sentence is for emphasis regarding the last sentence.
And that's what I'm saying. No, it's not. It's when you do that in a sentence, right? When you start with truly, I tell you, for sure, you're not emphasizing what's before. You're emphasizing
No,
what's coming
I
after.
understand
That's
that.
why there's a
I
comma
understand
after
that.
truly, I
You're
tell
not
you.
listening
Truly,
to
I
me.
tell you what?
Shut up.
This.
You're not listening.
This is what
Shut up.
truly I tell you.
I'm going to tell you what I
comes after
said
the
again,
comma?
and you can listen really closely. It's emphasizing the coming sentence in relation to the previous one. It's saying this next sentence will show the emphasis of how much I mean one. It's connected. Truly, I tell you.
Okay, I'll just say I see what you're saying, but it is a reach. It's a reach.
How is it a reach?
Yeah, they're in the same parentheses.
Yeah, it's a reach.
Okay, so what if it said?
It
What if it
looks
says? If
very
you said I'm going to go to California in 2 weeks for real, I'll be there then. What do you think that means?
Yeah, that means for sure I'll be there then in California.
Right. You're
If I
emphasizing.
said
You're
for
emphasizing.
sure,
You're emphasizing
for
the.
sure,
I'll be there in
some
California,
of you
and you're
will see
relating
me
it to the
get
last
on the
sentence.
plane.
It's connection.
Yeah, if I say so, for sure, some of you will see me get on the plane. I'm not emphasizing going to California. I'm saying for sure you will see me getting on the plane.
Yes, you are
That's what I'm
emphasizing
emphasizing.
that. Yes, you are emphasizing
If
that.
I wanted to do that, I would just say for sure, you see me in California. But I said I'm going to California. Full stop. You see me getting on the plane.
Right, and it means a plane to California. It's what it means. It's how English works. It's related to the
Right.
previous
That's why I'm
sentence.
saying that. Yeah, truly. Yeah, I hold to the fact that truly on the mount, truly, some folks saw him coming into his kingdom. That's what I'm saying.
So
What?
you think this has partially come true? Some of it
Right.
hasn't yet.
Okay, so
That Jesus was saying two things, and during that time, he made a prophecy about two separate times.
right. Okay, so let me ask you this. This is what's really, really gonna show the genuineness, right? This is what's gonna do it. Okay. What book is this that you're reading out of? Which of the apostles wrote this book?
Like without looking? Do you need to know, or
No, you can look. You can look.
Matthew?
Matthew, right?
Okay.
Okay. Do you thinking this, right? You're believing that Jesus actually said this. That's why we're debating it. You're saying that he lied. Okay, so Matthew is who wrote this, right? Matthew also writes about Jesus Christ's unalivement. Do you believe that part?
No, this
No,
is an
no, no,
internal
no.
critique.
See?
This isn't
This
about
is
what
an
I believe.
So
internal
you don't
critique. It doesn't matter
you
if
don't
you believe it.
no.
You're
Okay,
trying
so
to bring up the word.
yeah, what I'm
That's your
trying to
saying.
understand and get back to again is this, right?
No,
What I'm trying to
it's like
see
a
is
pivot
this,
away
right?
from your problem, is what you're doing. You
A
see
pivot
that, right?
because it reinforces both beliefs, right?
No.
Okay, let me shorten it up for you and show you where I'm going with it, right?
Okay.
If all of this that Matthew wrote about, right, what Matthew thought of Jesus, right, what Matthew said Jesus did, the Pharisees, him getting crucified, him getting unalived, right? Are you saying that, okay, some of it is true and then some of it is not true?
Are you
Is that
aware
what
that
you're
we
saying?
don't know who wrote any of the Gospels?
And
Are
do
you-
you God
Okay, so
inspired the Bible that this
okay,
is
so
all these-
so that answers my question. So you don't believe none of it. You don't believe Jesus
What
actually
I
said
believe
these
doesn't
words because you
matter.
don't even
You
know
haven't been
who wrote the
listening.
Bible.
You haven't been listening, right? You keep asking me questions. You said you're going to get to your point. I want to know
Yeah,
why
that's
this
the
matters
point.
to
I'm
me.
trying to understand if you're picking and choosing.
It doesn't matter. God's not real. This
It
isn't
does
real.
matter. It does
comparing
matter.
and contrasting.
It does matter. Look, whether you believe it or not. Look, if I'm trying to do, let's say,
Can I ask you a
I
question?
don't believe Spider-Man
Hey,
exists.
no,
Wait, let me
you don't
just
need
say
to do
this one
this.
point. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you believe that you could look through the Quran and find issues in it without believing in the Quran?
Yeah, I can. But
Yeah,
when I'm
that's
arguing
what
or
we're doing.
debating the Quran, right? If I'm taking some of it, right? I have to take everything. The perfect example
Then
is
you
this,
can't
right?
critique
I
the
don't
Quran.
have to be. This is what I'm saying. Look, I don't have to exist, right? If I'm talking to a fanatic, okay, somebody who's really big on Superman, and I'm trying to debate, right? I have to read the novels. I have movies. And then if I'm trying to debate something in the movie or in the comic book, right? I can't pick one sentence and then say, let's debate that. And then somebody who believes in that brings me another sentence in the comic and they say, hey, no. We can't bring that in. Let's just debate. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you're either going to debate
All
it
the
all or
time.
not.
That's done all the time. You
It
can
doesn't
go on
matter if you believe
Superman
it or not.
forum and see that
Like,
there
I
are
don't
things
have to
in the
believe in
movies that
Superman
aren't
to
Like
in the
you have
like,
no idea. You have no
comics.
idea what you're talking about. This analogy doesn't make sense. Look,
I
this is an
do.
internal
I do.
critique.
And it
This
makes
is an
sense.
internal critique. You can bring me other verses. That's fine. I'm just saying that I don't
Right.
have
But
to
no,
accept
see, the
them,
thing is,
and I
you're not
don't know
saying
why
it's
you
that
do.
fine.
You need to stop talking
Okay,
over
so
me.
then
I
look,
let you go at
then the
length.
debate
I let you
becomes
go at
invalid.
length. I let you go at length. I let you do your whole stupid analogy. Any sense? Okay? Listen. I'm showing you contradictions within God's supposed divine word. All you can do is say, well, that contradicts this other thing. And I say, yes. Doesn't that seem like a problem? And you say, no, because I just believe whatever I want. And you don't believe it, so you're wrong.
No.
I'm not done. You can get back to that straw man if you think it's a straw man, whatever. But you haven't shown me any good reason to believe that this is actually two separate things that Jesus is saying, that they're not connected except for your feelings.
I'm showing you other scriptures, right, that give you context, and you're saying no, don't bring that up. That's the
When
issue.
did I say that? What
That's the issue.
scriptures? What are you talking about?
Revelations, Matthew. I
relation
asked
to
you about the
this?
other accounts of Matthew about
No.
Jesus. Do you believe
Hold on.
those? So I
No,
can see if we
stop.
get
That's
anywhere.
not
You say
other.
no, we don't even know who wrote Matthew. Like what?
Yeah, you didn't bring me other scriptures. You brought me generalizations of, do you believe? I don't. Like, we could talk about specific events and accounts and things like that, whatever. You need to address the issue here, that Jesus said a thing and then it didn't happen. Sorry, I did mute you, but I invited you to unmute, and you can respond to that.
Yeah, no, I explain it to you that with the transfiguration, right? There's folks that did not die. That's so Jesus Christ coming into his kingdom.
Okay, so on this point, you just flat out will never ever change your mind on it. The way the words are written just don't mean what they mean. You have decided to
No,
add
they
your
make
own
sense when I
interpretation.
read everything else.
Why
They
don't they
make
make sense?
sense.
I
When I
understand.
pick some out of it, it doesn't. It's not gonna make sense,
Is it
dude.
Mutale? How do I say your name?
Mutale.
Mutale. I'm very sorry. Mutale.
You're good.
How do I come to the same conclusion? Because I've read the same things and I don't see this. So why do you see
Okay, so
this
let me give you
connection?
one thing that good. That's a great question, right? Okay, one thing, right? To me, this is the most important thing, right? Of all the gospels, like Matthew that we're reading right now, right? It's one thing that's going on, right? These folks are saying that this guy is claiming to be, okay, right? This guy was unalived for that claim and then rose up 3 days later, right? And then ascended into heaven. That's their claim, right? So if that's their whole full claim of all of this that you're reading, that's when you read it in entirety, that's their claim. Now, who unalived this guy based on their claim,
The
right? It was the
Romans.
Jews.
No, the Romans.
So the right? Okay, so
The Romans killed
it's
Christ.
not really the Romans. It was
Yeah,
the
that's
Pharisees
anti-Semitic.
that
Let's not
accused him.
focus on this. Just move on past it. It doesn't matter.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm talking about that's just the facts of it.
Sure, that's fine. Who cares?
It's
What does it
the
matter?
Pharisees. Yeah, it matters because why? These were right. Jesus Christ himself was a Jew, right? The Pharisees, some of the most educated when it came to the scriptures, right? And the claim is that they think that this guy was saying that he's God. So much so that he was unalive for it. Right? So then to me, two questions come up. Were these guys who are the most educated in the scripture lying that this guy was making this claim? And if they were lying, what's their incentive to lie?
What does this have to do with the lie that Jesus told?
Yeah, because if they were not lying, if these guys that thought that were the most educated in the scriptures compared to me or you, right? If these guys really thought that they were making a claim that, and then this book that you're reading, right? This guy says that, hey, this guy that was unalived for making a claim that he's God, he actually rose days later and ascended into heaven. So the thing is,
According to
right,
the
it's
book.
very rare that you find people dying over stuff they don't believe.
Who died over stuff they don't believe?
Actually, it's really, really prevalent. Do you believe in Islam? Because there's people in that belief.
No, I'm saying that they
all the time.
believe that. Yeah, they actually believe that they're going to heaven, and that's
Right.
why they do it.
Okay.
Right. So they actually believe that. So this guy believed that he was God so much so that he was able to die for it. Not making
Jim
the
Jones
same
did the
way
same thing.
that the extremists
Jim Jones did the same thing, right?
believe that Allah wants them to do that.
Do you know who Jim Jones
regardless, he
is?
had to believe it. Yes, he had to believe it. That's not the claim. I'm not saying
Did
Jim
Jim Jones
is not
believe he
real
was
or not.
God? Did Jim Jones believe he was God?
Right. So we
Did he
exactly
die?
right. So
Did he die for that belief?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Right, and he rose up. There's people
No.
that make that claim.
Jim Jones did not
Right.
rise
Okay.
up.
Yeah. So that's the proof, dude. That's how we know if you're God or not.
Where's the proof
If you
that
don't wake up,
Jesus
like,
rose
yeah,
up?
it's bullshit. Yeah, if you claimed you were God, okay, and the most educated in the scripture unalive you for it, and then you rise again, I'm thinking you're God. I'm thinking that.
Then why are
Amazing.
there still Jewish people?
Yeah, according to Jesus, right? He said they didn't believe in him, right, because of their hearts, because
Crazy.
of their
So the book that talks
they're
about
not
Jesus,
able to love their neighbor
Yeah.
or love God. That's why.
I'd like to respond to this now. So the book that is all about how Jesus is amazing and is God paints the Jewish Pharisees in a bad light, says that they agreed that he is God and then killed him, and then he rose up or they agreed that he was. They were mad about it. They killed. They sentenced him to death, and he rose up, and now they still don't believe because their hearts are hard. It's all written from the perspective of Jesus is the good guy. You understand this is a fairy tale you're believing in. There's no reason to believe that this is true.
There's no proof out.
Yeah, no, there is. In the Middle East right now, there's a church goes back thousands of years. That's believed to be the tomb of Jesus Christ. People go there till this day. That's not in the Bible. You can fly there and go there. Have you gone there? Have you asked the people out there?
How do we know that it's Jesus' tomb?
Right. Yeah. But that's there. Say that. That's how we know anything else.
Because they say it.
That's how we know history.
That's how we know
Possibly
it.
be making
Yeah.
for Jesus.
That's how
So,
we
like,
know any history.
literally,
Somebody wrote it.
None of
Somebody
the people.
wrote it.
Let me ask you. Has anyone ever lied?
People lie all the time.
Wow. So is it possible when people say things that it's a lie?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think
So
that
your
they wake
argument
up
that
from
somebody
the dead.
said it doesn't seem
Just
like
the
very
Jim
strong.
Jones. Yeah, that's how we know if they're lying or not.
How do we know?
And yeah, that's how we know. There's like, it's not. We're not saying. What year did the Jim Jones guy die?
No, we're talking about the tomb of Jesus. You brought it up.
Right. Okay, so
How do we
Jim
know they're
Jones
not lying
probably
about
died
the
like
tomb of
in the
Jesus?
1960s. Yeah, because we're in we're in 2026 now. So 2026 years after the death of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean,
2026.
roughly,
Like we've
he
been
died at
counting
like
it down
30,
year by year.
Didn't he die some like in the 80s? Like somewhere
Yeah, we're still keeping track. My point is, the whole world is still keeping track from that day.
Uh-huh.
Like that's the point that
And that
we
proves
reference.
that the tomb is Jesus' tomb? You're really all over the place.
No, that gives me reasonable, bro. Just like we know, like
you think
if
the
something
calendar
existed, like
system
how
is a reason to
people
believe
talk
in
about it.
Jesus? You think the calendar
Yeah,
system
like
is a reason to
somebody's
believe in
gonna.
Jesus?
Yes, look, somebody that's gonna come maybe, let's say 20 years from now, is only gonna know about Michael Jackson because of like the posts that people say and the recordings we have of him. Now we have microphones, so we're gonna hear his voice, but that's not gonna be him. It's
Do we
all
have
just
writings
gonna
from
be
Jesus?
records.
Do we have writings of Jesus
Yeah, we have eyewitness writings.
that Jesus wrote?
No, eyewitness writings. You don't. Jesus doesn't have to write
Right,
it
so we have
specifically
writings
himself.
of Michael
Like even in the
Jackson's.
court of law, that's not how it
I'm-
works, dude.
Vitali, I'm trying
eyewitness
to
is
debate
valid.
you. I'm trying to argue your point. You said that Michael Jackson, we'd have proof of it because of the recordings, but we also have his writings. We know he existed because he wrote things down himself too. Jesus
Right, and-
never wrote
okay, so-
anything
okay.
down. We don't even have any proof that
Right,
his
so-
disciples existed. Do you know that? We have no outside evidence that any of those people existed.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Where's the evidence
No,
of the
we really
disciples?
No, we really don't. Again, I just told you it's a real place that you can go to, and you said no, it's
That
not.
doesn't,
Like
it's not proven to be
it's
anything, or else it would be like a grand Nobel Prize winning achievement. It's just a
right.
tourist trap. There's like 4 of them in that area. There's no proof that Jesus walked this earth or created miracles or was resurrected. The Romans don't even have proof of crucifying. And what's crazy is when that is said
Okay.
to have happened, listen,
Mhm.
thousands of people came out of their graves and walked around, and the Romans have no record of that occurring. So
Yeah,
it's just myth that got out of hand.
why don't we have a
Wait,
ton of
thousands of
like
people walked
writings?
out of their graves?
You know
Yes,
this,
you
right?
don't
In
remember
Matthew?
reading after he was resurrected?
No, I may have skipped over that. That's new
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
something that would have been recorded. And there's records of Pontius Pilate doing the
Right.
crucifixion,
What you're saying
right?
100%, right? My follow up to that would be this, right? So if somebody, right, let's say any person that existed in history, right? Okay, let's say myself, me Mutale, right? 20 years from now, right? If all there is about me, I never took any pictures, all there is maybe writings of my family members, stuff they wrote about me, right? Do you think it'll be safe to say that I never existed just because you can't find any writings that I personally wrote?
Are
No,
you
that wasn't my
claiming to
claim. I
see
was just making the
soul?
comparison to the Michael Jackson thing because it was wrong. It was stupid.
Right. No. So, okay. So then we agree that just because you have any personal writings, that's not a logical reason to believe that you didn't exist.
It was showing you
At
how
least, right?
it was showing you how your argument didn't make sense. It wasn't my argument. It was a counter argument. Michael
No,
Jackson,
I
we have
didn't
more
make any
evidence.
argument about
You're
personal
misunderstanding my
writings.
point. The argument isn't that this disproves Jesus. Showing that we have more evidence for the things that you're claiming than for Jesus. You don't have the kind of evidence for Jesus that you think we do. That's the problem.
What evidence do you think I that I
You
think
seem
we
to think
have? What are you
that you
saying?
seem to think we have something on alignment with Michael Jackson. I don't know why you brought him up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, Michael Jackson was in the 21st century, dude, with computers and cameras.
I know.
So of course, like, yeah, right. So we have way more records of Michael Jackson.
And
The
his
point
writings.
that I'm making,
And his
so-
writings.
right?
Like
And
we
he's
have the same
right.
kinds
So,
of evidence that we could expect from
right.
Jesus from Michael Jackson, but we don't have for Jesus. That's my point.
Right.
It's not
So,
a comparable
yeah,
thing to
that's your
say.
point. Right. So what I'm asking you now is this. You're saying we don't have any personal writings of Jesus. So are you saying that if we do not have any personal writings
No.
That
So
from
here
it
it
any
says the
historical
tombs also
figure,
were open.
Many
I already
reasons.
told you no. I already told you no.
I got you. So no. Okay, so that's what I'm getting to. So I'm saying, so when you bring up that we don't have any personal writings of Jesus, fine, but that's still not a
fact.
logical reason to believe that he didn't exist.
One of many.
I'll try to
It's
explain it.
not a
I'll try to
logical
explain it
reason.
again. I'll
It's
try to
not.
explain it again. I'll try to explain it again, right? You said, why do you
It's
believe
not a
my
logical.
stop talking? It is a logical reason to believe what I'm saying. Okay,
It's not.
I'm not saying that's the only reason. I'm saying there's a lack of evidence that doesn't work when you say you believe that Michael Jackson exists, but only because you have more recent ways of understanding that. You're saying that we only know about people because we have better technology, and that the people in the ancient past is harder to record. I understand that, but we also have writings from people in the ancient past directly. We don't have that for Jesus. We don't have very much evidence for Jesus. That's my point. So this argument about, like we can't look at how we think about history now and imagine that it would be the same then, or how we determine historical. I understand your point, but it doesn't hold up because we just have so little evidence, even of the kinds of stuff that we would expect from that time period. This is the part in Matthew 27 where Jesus dies and the resurrection is going to happen and people come out of the ground, and it's never written about by anybody else. The tombs were also opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. After his resurrection, they came out of the tombs and entered the holy city and appeared to many. Now, when the centurion and those who were with him were keeping watch over Jesus saw the earthquake and what took place, they were terrified and said, "Truly, this man is God's son." So why don't we have any about all of these other people coming out of the tombs?
Zombie invasion, and no one recorded it.
They appeared
I
to
could
many.
easily attribute that to the very political climate. The Pharisees, what they had just done. So I don't think they'll be very ready to admit that, hey, this guy has supernatural power that we just unalived. like
They were
any
terrified and
government or
said,
any
"Truly, this
leading
man is
authority,
God's
they
son."
throw a lot under the rug.
Yeah, the thing you
Yeah,
just said,
that's not
the
the
thing you just said is
Pharisees.
disproven by the next sentence.
That was not the Pharisees. That was
Oh, okay.
who said that?
So the centurions, why
Romans.
didn't the Romans write about
Right.
this?
Who were the centurions?
The Romans?
Romans.
Yeah, no, like centurions. What were they? Like what
Guards.
They were
did
the
they do?
soldiers of the
Right,
Romans.
yeah.
They were
So that's
guarding the
like the
body.
police. Yeah, that's like the police coming up and saying, "Oh, dang, we seen this," right? Like Epstein files, right? Yeah, like I'm pretty sure a lot of the actual police officers or people that have seen it have said stuff like that. But we know that, yeah, the authorities,
Okay.
they hide shit all the
So it
time.
was a
Are you
conspiracy.
saying that the Bible's lying?
Yeah, no, I could to believe that. I see that
So
in
you
modern
believe a
times.
conspiracy happened that all of the people the dead people appeared to and the centurions of Rome that said that this was the Son of God, that Rome covered it up, and then eventually they realized this, and that's when they took it on and became like the official religion. Like, I understand your
No, it
argument a
had
little
to
bit,
take
but
years.
like,
It took years for it to catch on.
no, it did. It did.
The apostles were doing a lot of
I
preaching and a
know.
lot of
But
missionary.
this argument that the
Right.
conspiracy
Yeah, so it's
happened,
not like
do you have any evidence?
they
Do you
did
have any
that.
evidence that this happened, that they covered this up? Or is
No,
it
I
more
don't. I
likely?
have reasons to
Is it
believe
more
that, though.
likely? Is it more likely that no one has ever risen from the grave? No one ever wrote about it because it didn't happen. Only
No,
one
okay,
person
so
wrote about
okay,
it
so
right here.
you said no, not one person. Okay, so you were talking about Jesus Christ never walked this earth, right? Because only
didn't say that.
people that were his followers. I think your co-host said that, but
Oh, okay.
somebody
Very
definitely said that.
unlikely. Due to the lack of evidence, it's very unlikely there
So
was a
what if the
particular-
Romans wrote about it?
They
Do you mean like
didn't.
They didn't? Okay, so okay, wait. So what
Tacitus
if
and
I show you evidence
Josephus?
of the Romans writing about it? Not Josephus.
Tacitus.
No, not Josephus.
And not
You're
Tacitus?
gonna bring
So-
me Tacitus.
I'm gonna bring you who?
Tacitus?
You're making assumptions. Okay, so the question
we
I'm
know a lot.
asking is
We know
stop
a lot
making
about
assumptions.
we know,
Possible thing.
we're guessing.
Yeah, okay,
We're guessing
I know you
because
know
there's
a
very
lot.
few. So we're guessing
Right.
because there's very few
I know
outside
that you
sources
know a
for
lot,
this.
but there's a possibility that you don't know some stuff.
There is a possibility.
I'm not saying
but
you
I'm
don't know a
telling
lot
you
of
that there are
stuff.
very few sources
Right.
for this, and so that's why we're guessing.
Okay,
Because
right.
we've heard it
I've
many
heard what you're
times,
saying.
and it has nothing to do with what we're
Right.
talking about.
Oh, right. So you're assuming though you haven't heard the source.
So
if
you
you would
have
just stop
you have
for a minute to
source
make
that shows
assumptions.
that more people rose from the grave. You have that source.
No, that's not what I was addressing.
I know you're pivoting.
Remember I told you a co-host?
Yeah.
No, we're not pivoting. We told you that, yeah, I believe it's a conspiracy. I can't prove it. Just like I believe the Epstein files is a conspiracy. I can't prove it, but I
Stop
believe
saying
that.
keyword, please.
But I still believe it, right? I can't show the evidence right now, but I have
You
strong
don't see evidence.
suspicion
You can't show that
that
evidence.
it is.
Have you been
No,
paying
I
attention?
can't show evidence that would prove it. That's why if anybody had any evidence that would prove it flat out,
Hold
right,
up.
it would
Wait.
have been
Stop.
done with
Stop.
right now.
Wait. Stop. Evidence and proof are different.
What does evidence?
Evidence shows the likelihood of something, like, right? So the preponderance of evidence is what you're looking for to determine whether something is true. Proof is something that's like
Right,
a mathematical
and-
term. Stop. Proof is something that's like
Okay,
a
so why
mathematical.
do we say you're proven guilty?
Stop.
Why do we say that we're proven guilty?
I don't know. Is it legal speak? Who fucking cares?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I'm just using legal speech right now to when I say prove it. I'm not using mathematical speech.
Right. So I know. I understand what you're saying. I'm telling you that you're making a blunder because the problem is
I'm not making a blunder. I think you're right. The fact that I have a source, right, which would dismiss the fact that only his followers wrote about him. That's why we're delaying to get to the source. That's why you're making these assumptions. And
care
I'm
about
asking you
this.
multiple times, stop. Oh, right. That's great. You don't care about any other source that doesn't confirm your bias.
does Jesus existing mean that we should worship him?
See, look, I think we're not going anywhere, but I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate yours. It was a beautiful pivot you tried to do at the end. That's crazy.
There's really no other source from the Roman inn that could be Tacitus.
Sorry I didn't let him get to it. Maybe he had something to blow our minds, but I don't understand. It felt to me like just a huge pivot. I guess he wanted to address something you had said at some point. I don't know why it matters.
It doesn't. It's just exactly him not facing the fact that mean words and things that are within the same parentheses often relate to each other.
Yeah, I don't understand this. This thing is like it's in oh I see, yeah, it's in one quote, like it's in one sentence, in one quote paragraph that he's talking. Like it's just
Yep.
so weird to think that he's like changing tenses and like meaning hidden things. Why would he do that?
Well, and I can see because they worded it weird. At the top, it says, "For the Son of Man is to come with his angels and glorious Father." At the bottom, it says, "The Son of Man coming in his."
Well,
That's a weird way to say
well,
is to
because
come.
it says before they see, which is like also in the future.
Right. So before they see the Son of Man coming, they won't die. But he was reading it like the Son coming in his kingdom is him going to heaven, which would have happened before the first sentence is saying that he'll come back with his angels. Like that just seems so fucking weird.
Oh,
I
that's
think
a
it's
good
just
point.
coming in his kingdom is like coming with his kingdom, like the angels and the glory of God are in his kingdom. It really is a weird way for them to say it at the end anyway. So it's like they meant to make this so jumbled up we just argue over it, and they never meant for us to read it in the first place. It's so difficult.
Like, I think if you take a step back from it, if you actually look at the entirety of it and you start looking at the historicity and all the ways that it came together, it becomes really clearly not true. Like, the argument that you have to take the entire book together, and so I have to look at the prophecy in Jeremiah and contrast that with something in Revelation. Why? What is the nothing in Revelation is ever going to explain why there will be sacrifices, but there will not be sacrifices. It's just not true. YouTube had some good comments that I missed. Like logic's our way of describing reality. That was about that one person. Obviously, reality exists before our minds. Just thought of this. Next time someone comes to you with anti-trans stuff, ask them to define. I have tried that. They'll just tell me, they're bullshit. They'll say it's male, it's your chromosomes, it's something like that. They just wanna get into some like nitty-gritty like nonsense to try to like shame me. Tucson, let's see. Elijah, yeah, because I think I said Ezekiel, huh? No, he's famous for the bread. Transfiguration is not the coming on the clouds to judge. Transfiguration was 6 days after he told them that before the crucifixion. Yeah, I get that a little bit confused. I need to remember that. So he tells them this, um, not saying it makes sense, but New Jerusalem was supposed to be an earthly kingdom. As in, like, when it talks about it in the. Yeah, it's just that whole thing about, like, it's going to happen later. It would make sense if the book actually said that. That's not even really in there. It's only in the New Testament, and that isn't even like it's very clearly looking towards like a near future because they're talking about like, don't get married, stay celibate, like just try to like exist a little while longer.
Wait, that's what I meant to ask. What does it say the paragraph before that? Isn't it the one where he's like, "Hey, if you can't wait, go ahead and get married so you can F. Wish to come after me, let them deny themselves and take up their cross."
Does he actually say the thing about not marrying, or is that just Paul?
Maybe it was Paul. "Take up their cross and follow me. For those who want to save their life will lose it, and those who lose it will find it. For what will profit them if they gain the whole world?" Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I think that's just Paul that's like, "Yo, if you got to get your dick wet, go ahead and get married, but he's coming back soon." That right tells you. He's not like, "Yo, it's going to be for your Greek. Go ahead and get married so you can make them."
I did appreciate that, guys. They were calm. They kept me a little bit calmer. I think I got a little frustrated a few times because it was just like it feels so much like they're not really trying to answer what I'm asking.
No, and that's why I kind of like the quick format they do with the lips, because then they don't really get a much chance to dance around, and you kind of like confront them with the one after another and be like, "Yeah, sure, I'm sure you have a reason, but what about this? What about this?" They'll be screaming context. It's Bob said, doesn't Jesus say when he's coming back in Matthew 16:28, but he lied?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. And this argument that like nobody knows the day or the hour, it's like, well, that still aligns with this. Like that can still be true when he said it.
Right, you don't know the day.
Like if Jesus existed, he may have existed, and he may have been this crazy street preacher that was like an apocalyptic preacher, and he may have said these things. It doesn't make them true. Hi, Joe.
Who cares if they see
Hey,
Jesus
Sarah.
go up to heaven? That doesn't seem like I would be excited about that. Like, I'm excited about the first part. Why wouldn't I think the first part is related to the second part? Like, all right, surely I might not die before he comes in his kingdom. It just,
Yeah.
wording.
One thing that I'm seeing emerge, I don't think it's new. I think it's always been there, but has definitely come to the fore again. Is kind of like almost like the modern fundamentalist, where you now have essentially like we're going through a piece of scripture and trying to say, well, this is what it says in its entirety, and yet you don't actually have to have. They're not making those arguments so much now. And again, it's all kind of falling back on, personal interpretation, which I think we can agree, but we don't actually think it's totally consistent and all of that kind of stuff. But it is interesting to see how some of the supposed Christians, Bible believers and stuff is itself kind of all, just here's my thoughts. This is how I feel about it. And so once it gets iffy, we're back onto, I like the first bit, not the other bit. Here's a bit of my casual anti-Semitism. And and you're like, fucking hell, how do you argue with that? Because it's all over the shop. I've noticed a lot more of that. I'm like, yeah, we're back into, and of course I think that's external things. Well, it always is external things that influence that, all the nonsense that you can get on 4chan and shit like that are as much forming the ideas that some of these people are throwing up as well. And it's very much kind of like a right-wing postmodernism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, okay, this is interesting. I think we're far more used to arguing the other way, where there'd be, people who were very versed, the William Lane Craig Lane, is it? Craig Lane
WLC,
Craig?
William Lane Craig.
Yeah, who are very much, the classic old systematic theology types. The harmonization of scripture, blah blah blah, and then you got whatever that last guy. It's just like, oh no, here's my bit, here's my other bit. I put it all together, and like, dude, again, it's the vibes, it's a fig, it's the Constitution, it's Marbo, which is like you're mentioning bits about law, but then you're actually just saying to the judge, "Oh, look, can you just rule on the vibe of it?"
Yeah. What if you were to say well, I understand that I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. I mean, I fulfilled that last time.
Yeah.
Do we really gotta fulfill this every time?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He fulfilled the law once, It's like, not that he's the the embodiment of that fulfillment and stuff, but would often be argued that, well, again, by some, because again, depending on how you understand even the Bible's covenants of whether it's like a ticker box or as in, Christ being the complete and utter fulfillment, and the embodied fulfillment of the law or whatever.
yeah, it is interesting how you could hear it changing now, and like and
Oh,
how people are bringing more of the other stuff, like the
oh my. We have a
anti.
promise. Hold up. Vampire Cowboy says, I promise you one thing. Every non believer will wake up to a rude awakening in that day. Dot, dot.
Oh, what's the rude awakening? Am I gonna like it?
I invited them
Go
up,
on,
but
Vampire
I
Cowboy.
don't know. They seem to not want to stick to 1 Timothy 3:15. They don't want to come up and defend their faith and show us why they have the hope or whatever it is.
Yeah, bless it.
Vampire Cowboy.
And it's nice. It's like, we can just kind of like just threaten us with a good time. We doesn't matter getting to the specifics. We can say, well, whatever it is, you atheists are just you're gonna find out anyway.
I'm gonna play the Joel song, but y'all might not hear
I've
it.
been trying to be loving, but you're
So it's gonna
making
play
me
the
feel
threat
bad.
song.
You're challenging my fragile faith. I'm gonna threaten you cause you made me mad. You're gonna get it when you die. I'm done casting my pearls before you swine. You're gonna burn up in your pigsty. I was just trying to get that speck out of your eye. I can't wait until you die. You'll be watching me smile while I'm hearing you cry. So you better be fucking careful and follow my loving Christ.
Yeah, Threats by Joel Reed's Bible, in remembrance of the way that Christians treat us. If I heard any of these things when I was a Christian, I think I would have deconstructed really fast. I didn't know any of this stuff was in the Bible. I didn't understand anything about it. I thought the 4 Gospels were written by the people it says they're written by. I thought they probably wrote them all at the same time and that they all like knew each other and they were just like hanging out and writing stories.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's right.
Which would be
And
really
even
convincing. That would be really convincing.
yeah. Well, yeah, and even when you used to get the Q hypothesis and stuff like that, it was still kind of not like it wasn't really. It was saying, yeah, okay, we all kind of looked at each other's work, but I don't know. I never even then put it together, going, oh, it's not even that. It's bigger than that. And the time differences. I don't know. It's weird. It's funny. I look back and think, oh man, the amount of stuff that I quite happily overlooked, because again, in many ways, I guess I was just going for the vibe of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it was very new agey love vibe, right?
Yeah.
You really wanted
and,
that.
and then they let me pass to people, which is even funny because, and I'm like, oh my god, that's almost the blind leading the almost blind as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. That verse about the blind leading a vine and how ironic that is, because I think that's about atheists, right? It's talking about people that don't believe.
Yeah.
Like everything about the book is just such hard projection, where it's just like that atheists are all evil and like their hearts are hardened and they won't listen, and it's just like everything about it is like what you're doing.
Yes. Yeah. There's a good little conversation happening down the back in the comments here on TikTok as well. On faith and science, but it is interesting because I do wonder. I think we still have plenty of arguments about faith and science, but just noticing how so many more it's like not even that. We are kind of almost getting into that new agey new thought, which was very much an influence on my Pentecostalism. Again, it's just kind of like, it's kind of above science because, you just name and claim it and manifest it and all of that kind of stuff. And hence you can talk all sorts of stuff, like even, going off about the first part of that verse in Matthew while going but while ignoring the implications of the second part, and and splitting them up and deciding the first part's the important revelation, and the second part is like the messy bit that can be done because it's kind of like the kernel was in the first part, and this is just the shell. Oh, we didn't have to try and work. The Son of Man. These people are going to be alive and still see Jesus, but that hasn't happened. And I don't know how many times you tried to nail people's feet to the floor today, but oh my goodness, Sarah, the pesky little buggers kept moving their feet around. They just did not want to get their feet nailed to the floor on that issue.
Yeah, it's real hard to have discussions sometimes with people because it's like, well, especially because like I think like a more free flowing like, if I ask a question, I'm looking for like your philosophical take on everything related to this question. And I'm looking for like a yes no is more closely to like what I'm looking for. Like we're trying to establish some things and then like talk about this one particular thing and like get into it. But they want to go all over the place because like that's how their religion is. It's all over the place. Like it doesn't have any like through line. It doesn't have like a way to know anything. You do have to take everything in context. You have to take all of reality in context. You have to say the stoplight that I didn't get stopped at the other day is actually proof that God loves me.
Yes. Yeah, and ultimately it's special revelation. So ultimately you can just fall back on, well, it's been revealed to me and not to you. Sorry. Hope you don't hard in hell.
I want to explain something. Sorry, I want to cut you off, but like someone in the comments, the host is the one hopping around and choosing verses. No, the host is the one picking a verse and then discussing it and then nailing it down, figuring out what it's saying. Everyone else wants to go all over the place and talk about other things that are unrelated to the verse. This is the problem. Christians think that it's cherry picking that we're doing. It's not like we're picking this one and then we're picking some other half of something and putting them together. That's cherry picking. Cherry picking is what you do. When Jesus says it is finished, that's not a prophecy. He's quoting the Testament, but you take it as a prophecy and you cherry pick it. I take the things that God said as laws. These should be examined. We should understand what God was doing. Why was he doing it? And if you say, well, there's a spiritual aspect to it, and you have to like really take all this context of things that aren't related to what we're talking about, that's cherry pick. That's just messing around. That has nothing to do with actually understanding the verse. You have to just understand your God gave evil law, very bad things. We didn't even get to the burning woman alive thing. We just talked about the slavery and like, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm just tired of I am tired of like hearing the apologetics for these things. But rant over. Ja, der Logic Mensch. Der Logisch Mensch. I don't really speak German.
Der logische Mensch.
Der logische Mensch. I don't see how moral arguments are valid. I agree. Christians should not make moral arguments. Your moral arguments don't make any sense. If you mean you don't understand how I'm making an argument about morality, it's because you're brain dead. The purpose of morals is what we ought to do and what we ought not do. And so for what we ought to do, we have no way of knowing. Well, if none of the guests in the comments are going to come up, I might go get dinner, find something to eat, and then might come back later. Maybe I'll just work on my show. I want to make a whole background that's like a talk show looking thing, and it'll say
Nice.
like the Shark Show with Sarah Shark, and I got to get some like some good like intro music. Well, actually, I have this music. I was thinking about using this. Let's see. Oh, where did it go? This one. Bad. And it won't get me like copyrighted or whatever. And then yeah, and then I'll do like a little intro every time. Ali's in. Thank you so much for coming over. I'm sorry I didn't interact much with Twitch. I appreciate your chattings.
Yeah, it was fun over there.
Oh yeah, were you over in Twitch some?
So
I know you said you were going over
yeah,
there.
I did. I did go over. So yes, because I was like, oh yeah, there was actually comments, and we were all having a little conversation as well. So it was cool.
Yeah, this is the first time Twitch has actually been doing stuff, and it's I'm trying to get better at finding the balance between, I want to engage with my audience, but I also want to like be here for the conversation. Like I don't want to jump out of the conversation to be rude to guests. So I've been trying to do it between.
Yeah, it's difficult because I mean they don't really integrate well with each other. And again, for Twitch, it's very much sitting there in the comment. You can't bring people up.
Yeah, this person's seems kind of like a piece of friend. Call them piece of friend. You're a piece of shark. You're a piece of shark. What a shark show you are.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you noticing, even if you don't acknowledge anything. Oh, thank you so much. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is that it's a real shark show. Is what my tagline is. Is that it's a real shark show, like it's a shit show.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. Oh my goodness. And of course we can never have too much blur high. So.
Oh yeah, that's the other one that I want to do. I want to try to figure out another way to get like some kind of either a thing, what do you, a model like a 3D model thing of Lahai, or like just like a picture or something that'll like look like they're talking to something. Might be more engaging.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. I wish you the biggest blessings. Unfortunately, you failed at the not trying. You were rude.
How much does it suck to like know you were rude without trying? You should reevaluate your approach.
Like effortlessly too. Like what you said was just straight top to bottom, start to finish, like wrong. Just like a wrong thing to do. And you're just like, well, I'm not, I hope you're blessed.
What?
They said that they're not trying to be rude and they wish me the biggest blessings. I have no idea. Call me brain dead and supposed to be rude.
But
I mean, like, it's different. I think it's different than what you said, but if you can't understand the difference, I guess that's on you.
Yeah, there's rude and then there's a bigot, and you went straight to bigot.
Yeah, I shouldn't have been so kind. It wasn't just rude, it was bigoted.
Brain dead is rude, but we're not up here claiming to be the children of fucking God.
That's right. And the biggest yikes is those same ones if we check their browser histories.
I will admit that, like, I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to stop, the ad homs and just being mean to people. It's not a good look, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that in the world. But I'm not called to it by God, and I don't have a Holy Spirit that's supposed to keep me from doing it. And yet you all go out of your way to harm people. I mess up and I think what you're doing is way more intentional.
Yes, filled with the Spirit, and then absolutely come out with the most dehumanizing crap ever.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of like when I've been at odds with other atheists or something, and some of them are really shitty. The people that I hang around though, like I can't think of when we've even been at odds, and I can't think of when. Most of the time if something happens, somebody says like you're wrong or I'm calling you out, and then you kind of like that person changes, and either I'm the person that's changing or they are, but it's like it's usually not like it just hasn't come to the point where I'm calling somebody brain dead, because they're like listening, they're like paying attention, they're trying to understand my point of view and not just like defend their nonsense.
Yeah, look, something that's usually bigger than whether you're an atheist or not, because like I do still have lots of interactions with friends who are still Christians but who are ironic. We can argue well and all of that kind of stuff. And they're just not shitty people, and I don't get dehumanized by them in the same way that you know, in the same way that some of Dawkins' mates would. Um,
Ugh,
and
yeah,
one of the things when I get onto amongst the friendly atheist crowd and genetically modified skeptic and others, like it's like arguing for far more humanist atheism and stuff like that is, I think, yeah, I think it is a lot more about yeah people and because the fact that even we have quite fundamentalist folks that you get
um,
even in atheist communities is quite
yeah, yeah,
it's psychological and sociological, I think, more than philosophical and theological in that sense, I guess. I know
yeah.
that's broad strokes, but again, it's not the topic.
Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up because we're not getting any more guests, and I'm getting
Yes,
hungry. So I appreciate y'all coming up. Tris,
sounds good.
thank you so much for coming up and talking to
Thank
people. And Joe, thanks
you.
for coming up and shooting the shit.
Have a wonderful evening.
Catch you later, Sarah. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
I do.
Everybody, thank you so much for coming to my show. I'm gonna try to be a regular doing the Shark Show. I gotta figure out my hours and stuff and like all the things, and just you'll come back and you'll see it. It'll be really fun. It'll be like watching um, the Late Show with David Letterman.
Kids Lands. I didn't know